you're a high energy guy. Is it as soon as you wake up, you hit the ground running and you're off and it's a day of high energy till you crash at night? I've heard you in the evenings. Are you a night guy? What was it like getting up this morning?
Well, let's just say if you ever saw the movie Groundhog Day, the alarm clock is broken into about 11 million pieces. I thought it was some sort of joke. I'm like, I thought April 1st was last week. What is going on here?
So not a morning person.
Definitely not a morning person, to say the least. But look, man, if you're not excited about what you're doing, why should anyone else be? Right?
Well, I understand that, but not everybody who has to get up early in the morning has to love the fact that they're getting up early in the morning. You could still have a job you love to do and still cuss and swear when you wake up in the morning.
Well, how do you get used to it?
This has been me for basically my entire life. I'm a morning person. Even on the weekends, I'm still up I may sleep in a little bit until 4:15, but I'm still up. And when you have 5 kids in the house.
Sleeping a little bit until 4:15 in the afternoon?
No. 4:15 in the morning.
Sleep in a little bit until 4:15. Said no one ever.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Except this weirdo. And so you have 5 kids in the house, and now a couple of them are off to college, but it is the only peace and quiet on the weekend that I get is from when I wake up at 4 until everybody starts, arousing around. Teddy usually gets up around 7:30, and my personal time is done. So that is whether I've got work to do, I just got a show I want to watch, I got something I want to, read, do, I want to mess around in the garage, mess around with the fishing poles. Like that's me time. So I am excited on the weekends that I still get up at that time.
When was the last time you woke up when it was light outside?
I don't know. That's a terrific question.
Whatever the answer is the last time it was before I woke up when it was dark. Okay?
Yeah. I would probably have to say.
Did you have any of your oversleeps? Because we all have them here in the morning where we're like, oh no, I overslept, but we still get in here on time. And you start getting at least horizon light, like at 5:10. Did you ever have one of those where you're coming in and you could see light?
So middle of summer, right around the solstice, right around June 20-ish is usually 1920 is usually where it's at. Once in a while, if I'm running like I was a little bit late this morning, and I have an interesting story that I'll share with you guys offline as to why I was a few minutes late. You start coming in at about 5:15, 5:20, you could start to see a little bit of light on the horizon, but I don't know that I'd have to probably go back to early college days.
Oh my.
For the last time that I slept past
Oh my
7 o'clock?
Okay, so we've established that sleeping in is 4:15. Heather, what is sleeping in to you? What time equals sleeping in?
Probably 7:30.
Oh my gosh.
But it's because the kids wake up around then, and I'm usually waking up at 4:30.
You know the song Beck
7:30 is
Loser?
good.
You know the song Beck Loser that was written about me? Sleeping in is at noon. Okay?
Oh, what?
That's sleeping in. All right? 7:15, 4:15 is sleeping in?
You don't when you wake up at noon, don't you feel like you've missed the day?
But I feel like I've gained my strength and my legs and my energy back, John.
Okay, what time are you going to bed?
Well, listen, we don't need to be going down that road.
Yeah, but if you're working till midnight, I get that.
Okay.
And maybe not till noon, but I do understand your sleep pattern is going to be different.
Because I go to bed at like 9:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 o'clock is usually when I fall asleep, but I try to go to bed around 9:30. So I'm still getting a decent amount of sleep to wake up at 4:30.
Yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of Detroit, Ken, I'm not the only one here, right? We have 4:15, we have 7:15, and we have noon is sleeping in. What is the universally accepted time
for
sleeping in? Okay, because we've had this debate about what constitutes evening. I think 6 p.m. is evening. We all agree? Well, if you're 4:15, 1 p.m. is evening for you.
No, I mean, we usually eat dinner right around 5 o'clock.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
You're an early dinner eater.
Yeah. And some of that is some of the lessons I've learned about being fat. And,
don't eat late at night and then go right to bed.
Yeah, I mean, I've had my fat decades.
The other thing too is sending the kids to practice with food on their belly instead of.
Very true.
Yeah.
Especially when they're younger. Usually, it's weird. The practices are later when they're younger, and they're earlier when they get older because it's right after school.
Right. Yeah. And so, I mean, I usually eat around 5, but I usually don't go to bed until 10:30 or 11. And so it's I'm if I get 4 to 4.5 hours, I'm good.
Oh my God! Oh, you wild child! It's 9:30 bedtime, 10:30 bedtime. He can't remember the last time he woke up when it was light. I can't remember the last time I woke up when it was dark.
Tom, on the weekend. Now, and both of you guys behind the glass, it is different because both of you are dads. And like Heather and like myself, like you get up when the kids get up. Like that's the latest that you're generally allowed to sleep in. Without kids, when would the ideal time for you guys to wake up on the weekends be?
I mean, I would say mine is even with my son. It's 8 o'clock.
Okay.
8 o'clock's pretty solid. You're getting enough sleep. You've still got some morning to happen in the day, so 8 o'clock's good.
Same thing, and it's usually I've got to be up past midnight, which is the rarest of all things right now, to sleep till 8.
So what I've learned here is I need to take a class on adulting, and I need to take it seriously.
No, you do you.
Okay.
It's okay. I mean, we can make fun of you, and we could send you text messages and calls, see if we can wake you up at 11 o'clock in the morning. You wake up halfway through Karsh and Anderson.
That's happened more times than I would care to admit.
Yeah, they're actually your morning show.
Heather's shaking her head at me.
That's wild. I mean, your whole day's gone. Like you've lost so much of your day.
Can't get anything done.
But we're either morning people or night people inherently.
I'm a night person inherently. Like if I didn't have this job, I would be up till 1 o'clock every single day.
Oh yeah,
and I
that'd
don't
be
have
party. That'd be party Heather.
And I don't have that job, and that's what it is. There you go.
If you had to wake up every day by 4:30, you would not be a night person.
Heather was telling me before the show, I said, I can't nap. I don't understand you nap people. Like if I ever fell asleep, I wake up feeling drunk after an hour.
Oh.
Okay?
I would think that's how you would feel waking up at noon.
Right. Well, listen, only not half as fun. Hell yeah, Mark Ryan sleeping in is 11 a.m. to noon. I get up at 3:30 a.m. Monday to Saturday. I'm sleeping my ass off on my day off. Roy in Clarkston. Go Gators. Well, he has been listening. Yes.
Gators,
Hey, listen.
yes.
I don't need that from
USCC
you.
slaps.
Fowler Frank says, John sounds like an absolute psycho.
I do have some psycho traits.
John-
No question about it.
John likes football practice. That's how
Right.
psycho he is.
Yeah. Well, that's what the voices tell me.
I mean, John, you're probably one of those rare kids that didn't have the phase where you slept till 11, noon, 1 o'clock.
No, because when I was in high school, the only chance I had to work out was before school. So my dad would drop me off on his way to work, and I would get there meet my football coach at around 5:30.
But you didn't have even like the 8th grade phase?
That's a long time ago. I've been hit in the head many times.
To 99.9% of people, working out before school means you're not working out before school. It's just not happening before school. But that's why you went to the NFL.
But there are a lot of studies that talk about how early morning workouts before you go to school and all of the enzymes, all the stuff that your brain releases through exercise makes you a better learner.
Wow.
And so I would encourage you, next time you have to get up this early in the morning. What time did you get up this morning?
Oh, listen, 4:30?
4:30. You obviously live close.
16 minutes.
Okay. All right. So, yeah.
Hey,
I would
all
encourage
you
you.
morning people here that are here every day and making fun of him, he was the second one here today.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Trying to help you, Mark.
is when you wake up, instead of getting up at 4:30, get up at 3:45 and go for a couple mile walk.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
It'll change your absolute. Yeah.
You do want me to show up here, right?
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know how slow you walk. I'm not saying walk here, but just go for a couple mile walk or a little bit of exercise in the morning, and it'll change your perspective on the rest of the day.
Yeah, I'll be dead. I'll be dead. John wants me dead 3 times before I get here in the morning. Texter says, I get up at 4:30 every day for work. However, on the weekends, I like to sleep in. I would say anything after 10 o'clock a.m. is sleeping in. See, the people are with me on this. The 4:15 a.m. sleeping in, 7:30 sleeping in. If I could get you guys, if you were on a vacation, do you sleep in then?
No, I'm up, and I out of respect for my wife, who does like to sleep, I usually go down to the lobby. I get myself a coffee. I'll check the scores, and even on like vacation, like this is a cumulative knowledge that we have to have, and I will do some of that stuff early in the morning. So the rest of the day, I got whatever I want to do with the fam.
This is a level of motivation that is unknown to me. But look, this is proof that aliens live among us, my friends.
Yes,
248-539-9797 is where you can get to us on this show. Well, another L last night. Is it becoming a big deal, little deal, or no deal? That's next, right here on 97.1.
Hey, if you're thinking about a new truck this month, a Ram truck should be right there at the very top of your list. I've seen the Ram side by side with the competition. I've driven a Ram and love them. The Ram truck deals at your Metro Detroit dealer this month are phenomenal. For power, there's really no competition. You could choose from Ram's award-winning Pentastar V6 or Ram's legendary 5.7 Hemi V8. And for the competition, why would you trust any full-size pickup literally at any price with a 4-cylinder engine? It's not going to get the work done, especially if you use your truck as a truck. Can't get anything done. The full-size Ram 1500 is built right here in the state of Michigan in Sterling Heights. For comfort and easy-to-use technology, nothing beats a Ram. Ram also has a 5-link coil suspension. All it's going to take is one test drive, and you're going to feel how much smoother a Ram is. Right now, lease payments on a new Ram truck are phenomenal. So are their financing offers for well-qualified buyers. All you got to do is pull into your Ram dealer today. It's really that easy. And when you get there, tell them I sent you.
It's 97.1 Costa and Jansen with Heather. Mark in for Jim today. We opened not on the rundown at all, but we opened just discussing the fact that, I need to do a little bit more adulting, and I need to be running at 3:30 a.m. Running right into the ground, I might add, but I need to be running nonetheless.
Yeah, the first couple times will not be enjoyable, but you get into the rhythm. And if you're normally up at 7:30, then hey, go for your jog at 8. Walk at 8.
I'm one of those crazy people that likes life to be enjoyable. So that's the problem. That's the problem with the situation. We get to Stu in West Bloomfield, who leads us off. Hey, Stu, you're on 97.1.
Hey, good morning. Can I get an early amen?
Yeah, amen.
And Mark, you know you're one of my favorite people. John, you know I've been a fan of yours since the 90s, so I might not even go to sleep as I'm on my way home.
Thanks, man.
But as a midnight worker, I usually get up around 10:30, even getting home at this time of day. So sleeping till noon is kind of, I'll say, weird.
Stu, you got a family?
Yes, but I'm recently divorced, but I'm used to coming home and getting the kids up and making sure everyone's up for their day.
Stu, I thought you just said you liked me, Stu. What's going on here?
I do, but we don't have to agree all the time. I mean, there's
I am
some
weird.
yin and some yang.
Yeah, I'm certainly weird, Stu.
Yeah.
Hey, but to be number one, you got to be odd, right?
That's right.
Most certainly the case. Thank you, Stu. Good to hear from you. Am I dreaming, or does Cookie sound a lot smarter this morning? I promise you I did not send in this text. I promise you.
No.
Sleeping in is all relative. What time do you go to sleep? I start working at 6 a.m. Sleeping in is 8 a.m. Good gosh, the motivation these people have. Bless you all. Go to bed 9 p.m., get up at 4:30 a.m. Now my body lets me sleep in until about 8-ish max on the weekends. Patrick in Grand Rapids, I pray for you. 5 o'clock dinner. John, what are you, 75 years old?
It's supper he's eating.
Yeah, supper.
Not dinner,
Yes.
supper.
It's the early bird special. We always have a coupon for it.
My God.
There have been days, John Jansen, where my first meal wasn't until 5. Okay?
That's bizarre.
John, I don't know if Mark will get that, but you were one of those Bill Knapp's people, right?
Oh, Bill Knapp's. Oh, hell yeah. Bill Knapp's, especially the chocolate cake. That's what started my decades of fatness. That set me on my path to being an NFL offensive lineman. Bill Knapp's chocolate cake.
I'm doing an eating plan right now.
Chicken and dumplings?
You know why? When I was stepping on my scale, it wasn't giving me a number. It just said WTF.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
and that,
I've
that,
had
told,
those. Yeah.
that told me that it was time to get on a plan.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
we started
Mine usually says, it'll scream at me and say, get the hell off.
Who do you think you are? Well, who do we think the Tigers are right now? Because last night, yet another L. This team is tied with the Chicago White Sox. That was not a mispronunciation. They're now 4-8. The last 3 World Series champions, none of them were ever 4 games under 500. And this team has World Series aspirations. Now, I worked in Houston. The first thing I did when they signed Framber Valdez was I reached out to my guys in Houston and I said, okay, what's the scoop? As you've seen, electric stuff.
Yeah.
But they've said he can mentally crumble and he can be his own worst enemy. And I'm wondering if we saw a little bit of that last night.
Well, I mean, the interesting thing about it is you saw that obviously in the first inning, but then after that, I mean, he gave up 6 in the first. After that, it wasn't bad. Like it wasn't a mental crumble. It was he just mentally couldn't get going. And that's the thing is we all thought at the beginning of the year and we did this. We talked a little bit about it in the bullpen there. What would be the longest losing streak? And I think we all said right around 4, maybe 5, because in the rotation, you're going to have a Skubal start. You'll have a Valdez start. But now they've lost 2 Skubal starts in a row. They're now losing 2 Valdez starts in a row. And now you're looking at it going, okay, well, who are we counting on to stop the bleeding? And I don't know, because you're playing against a team in Minnesota in front of what might be generous to say sparse crowd. How is it possible that you could possibly allow 6 runs in the first And it's the guy that you just signed to a $37 million a year contract.
Which is unacceptable, and it's inexcusable. And you're looking at what this team is doing, scoring runs, 14th in runs per game. You look at what they're doing pitching, 22nd in ERA.
Yeah.
Tigers pitching staff, A.J. Hinch, 22nd in ERA. 21 walks and 31 innings pitched for the bullpen. What in the name of Jack Morris is going on?
Well, and going into the season, we thought maybe at the trade deadline, like they're going to figure things out. At the trade deadline, it'll let them know which position player or which bat they want to add, because the pitching staff was going to keep them in the race all the way up until then. And that's when they're going to make their addition to a bat that we all thought that they should have added in the offseason. And right now, and going into it, we thought this is a top 5 pitching staff. And you could argue top 3 pitching staff. It's early. I'm concerned. I'm not panicked, because I think Skubal's going to be, I don't know that this is a third Cy Young in a row, but I still think he's going to be one of the better pitchers in the American League. I think Framber Valdez is going to be good. But there is, like, how deep of a hole are you going to dig at the beginning of the season that you're then going to have to dig out of?
Unfortunately, there are numerous problems with this team here in the early going. We're going to go through these, but for right now, it's time for Heather with the news.
Well, this news is brought to you by Gardner White. So this story keeps coming. Okay,
the missing wife.
Yes, authorities in the Bahamas have arrested that Michigan man 4 days after his wife went overboard during this nighttime boat ride.
Can we say state of Michigan men? Because when you say Michigan man, I'm tired of those guys being arrested.
A state of Michigan man?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sure. The state of Michigan man was arrested. The Royal Bahamas Police Department arrested Brian Hooker on Wednesday, and the agency says he's being questioned in connection with the disappearance of his wife, Lynette Hooker. So somebody within the Royal Bahamas Police identified him as a suspect. The U.S. Coast Guard is also conducting a criminal investigation into Lynette's disappearance, and we just keep learning a little bit more and more about their relationship. So we knew they were documenting their travels on social media. They had kind of a funny little social media handle, the Sailing Hookers.
Yeah, right.
Funny, right? And they showed pictures of what looked like a happy retirement, right?
Yeah.
Traveling all over, sailing, selfies.
Something like that.
But then you're learning a little bit more from the daughter, who's basically describing the relationship rocky.
It's her daughter.
Yeah, her daughter. So his stepdaughter is like rocky and volatile and not going great, right? Like towards the end, she said he had choked her and had like talked about pushing her overboard, right? Yeah, very, very strange. So anyway, he's been taken into custody, but right before he was taken into custody, he did release a statement.
Right.
He got on social media and said, "I'm heartbroken over the recent boat accident in unpredictable seas and high winds that caused my beloved Lynette to fall from our small dinghy near Elbow Cay in the Bahamas. Despite desperate attempts to reach her, the winds and currents drove us further apart. We continue to search for her, and that is my sole focus."
I'm just not buying it. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it.
Is. No one is except
I've seen
him.
way too. Like, I'm a true crime fiend.
Yeah.
I watch these things on YouTube. I know about murder in Columbus. I've seen too much of this stuff. He's doing all the canned lines of accident. His plan was to create an accident.
Right.
Who wouldn't die themselves going after their wife?
And that was my point when this story broke a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Like, if my wife goes in, I'm going in after her, hopefully with a life jacket. But if the current's taking her away, then hop in the same current.
Who do you guys believe more in right now, this guy or Mike Vrabel?
Oh, that's a terrific question.
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Actually, believe it or not.
Yeah, probably.
If you had to pick,
Yeah.
yeah, probably. In other news, a ton of people wanted free gas who wouldn't in Detroit, and they waited for hours in line on Wednesday morning. More than 350 cars received $20 worth of gas each.
Awesome.
Which is amazing. During Big Mo's gas promotion at a family-owned Amoco station, they gave away about $7,000 in total of gasoline.
Are we eligible
for
for
free.
that?
Anyone could be eligible.
Oh, yeah.
It's
That was
over.
yesterday. Yeah.
See you down there.
It's done. It's over and done with. But anyone could have gotten there and waited. People got there around 2 a.m. and by 10:30 it was done. And he said he felt so bad by having to cut people off that he reduced the giveaway to $10 and still made sure everyone got a little bit of gas
a
for
gallon
free.
and a half.
Did you see the?
Still, I mean,
No, I don't. Yeah, trust
I'll
me.
take
It all
$10
counts. Yeah.
in gas for
The
free.
next price of gas is your firstborn. Did you see that?
Oh gosh. No. A Michigan man is behind bars after being accused of luring a missing teen from Ohio to a hotel in Fenton. According to the FBI, this guy drove from Grand Blanc to Ohio, picked up this 15-year-old girl, reported missing from her home, then brought her back across state lines to a hotel, like I said, in Fenton. He's also accused of coercion and enticement after online conversations began on Reddit and then later moved to Snapchat. So this guy was actually caught because Reddit tipped off the FBI. This was on April 4th of this year. After a chat, they saw, they believed it was involving this missing Ohio girl. They'd have conversations from March 30th to April 3rd. Then they moved to Snapchat. The investigation continued. They were able to determine where they were located based off of phone records. They found them together at this hotel. And this guy is obviously going to be facing a lot of charges.
Yeah.
He said he thought she was 18. Yep. Another one added to the list. Southwest is now the next major airline to announce a baggage fee increase. Not that shocking after we just talked about Delta increasing their baggage fees. So customers checking one bag will pay $45. Starting today, the second will cost $55. There will be some travelers who can still check bags for free. Certain loyalty tier members,
Sure.
if you've got the credit card or if you're an active duty military member. So
I will have you know, I am an absolute master
Yeah?
at getting by with a bag that is too big as a personal bag while never paying the carry-on bag fee.
Oh, you're one of those.
I'm one of those.
I hate
will
when I see those people
Oh,
in line and they've
yeah,
got
now you got to stare at them for another 3.5 hours.
Well,
What
they've
did I
got
do?
not necessarily you, but I've
Oh, no,
seen
you.
people in line with their carry-on, right, the size of like a body bag, and I'm
Right.
like, get out of here, man!
Uh-huh.
I have mastered it. No one sees the size of the bag. I get it
How
in.
big are
I
you
get it
doing?
out. Oh, like I've got it out there. I'll show you. I've got it out there.
Yeah.
Show me,
Size matters.
show me.
Personal item, baby. Personal item. All right. That is Heather with the news.
He's a little too excited to
This is
show you.
about getting personal out there.
Size of your bag. Come on, man.
Would you stop, John? This is a family show.
I
What
know.
are we doing here?
Yeah.
All right. We've got way too many Detroit Tigers problems to get to, but among them, which are real, which are imagined? That's next here on 97.1. It's 97.1. Costin Jansen with Heather, Mark Ryan in for Jim. Well, the Tigers lose again, and the question is, at what point are you starting to be concerned about this? You've already, you're 12 games into the season. Mm-hmm. You have 2 4-game losing streaks. So naturally, I delved back and I looked at the research and I said, okay, well, is this a foreign concept to teams that win it all? Because this team has World Series aspirations. Actually, it's not. All 5 of the 5 most recent World Series champions have each had at least 1 4-game losing streak in the season, and the average of the last 5 World Series champions, they've had 3 4-game losing streaks in the season that they won the World Series. It just goes to show that it's a marathon, not a sprint, and that this season goes on forever and a day. But this was supposed to be the best Tigers team of the last 5 years. And the question is, what's missing? What is the missing ingredient? What is the missing piece right now?
Well, one of the biggest missing pieces is what is supposed to be 2 of your more reliable bats. And I'll say maybe just one, Riley Green. I think that is the biggest missing piece right now. Spencer Torkelson, how much should we actually rely on him?
Well, especially when you consider that in odd years he's LeBron and in even years he's Bronny.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's saying LeBron is a bit of a stretch. But yeah, it's an every other year battle for him. And last year, the only reason that he was even on the roster to start the season was because of the unbelievable amount of injuries they had. It was the Parker Meadows. It was Matt Vierling. It was all of it. And they were thinking about having Spencer Torkelson as an outfielder. All of a sudden, he makes the team by default and then has a good year. A better year than he had the year before. Hits 31 home runs. But it's always a roller coaster with him. There's nothing you can count on. And I say that in regards to where they are in terms of power right now. They've had 7 home runs on the year. Now, I'm not going to sit there and compare them to the Dodgers and their lineup. The Dodgers obviously lead Major League Baseball with 21 home runs. I think they're the outlier. But then you look at everyone else. I mean, they are tied for second to last with the San Diego Padres. Only the San Francisco Giants have less at 5.
Well, and you average, look, in an era of OPS, right? Batting average has fallen behind the wayside a little bit, but it hasn't to me. If you look at the teams that hit well, those teams perform well. Carpenter, Torkelson, Green are hitting at the Mendoza line.
Yeah.
12 games into the season. After the first few games, okay, it's early. How long is it early with these guys? When this team loses quite often, it's that they're not putting runs on the board. How do you get this team to produce more than the 40-year-old virgin?
It's when you're talking about where this team is. And we thought that Kevin McGonigal was going to be a good bat. We were really excited about him. And he is. But you're looking at a rookie as maybe the most professional at-bats that you're having. Now, I know Cole Keith has been on fire. And yet another one that was a long double last night that in a lot of other ballparks would have been a home run.
Tired of that.
He's had 3 of those this year.
McGonigal, too.
Yeah, and so, but McGonigal is your most professional batter. And he has had a total of 48 professional at-bats in his entire life.
I'm so glad you're saying that. I put out the question. I'm like, look, this is premature. Is he the best hitter on the team? Now, think about this for a minute. Is he going to learn more from the lineup? Or is the lineup going to learn more from him? This is a team. Riley Green, we got to drop. No one cares about his strikeouts. You got to be kidding me. I care about the strikeouts.
Right.
I care about you putting the ball in play. Don't you think these guys, these free swingers, these launch angle guys, are going to learn a lot from a guy like Kevin McGonigal, who's the closest thing that I've seen to Tony Gwynn in the modern era?
It's funny you say that because you look back and there are times where he's going to be 0 for. But in his 0 for 4 days, there's no strikeouts. He's making contact. And yesterday it was, Cole Keith gets the double off the wall, and then McGonigal's up next, and you're thinking, okay, hey, maybe he could put the ball in play. And he does, but it doesn't move, it doesn't move Colt Keith forward because it's a little bit of a bloop out. But you can count on him to make contact. That's what we want from Riley Green. Riley Green, we're not asking you to get a hit every single time at the plate, but you can't strike out that many times. Because if you don't put the ball in play, there's no sac flies. There's no moving runners forward. There's nothing that is a benefit to you striking out 200 times in a season. And he's not on pace for that right now. But when you're looking at Kerry Carpenter with 16 strikeouts, are you kidding me? No one is putting the ball even in play enough to be able to move runners forward, get them in scoring position so that your bats that are active, which are only right now, I would throw in Dylan Dingler as well. He's a good at bat, but you've got three guys that are putting together good at bats, and one of them's a rookie.
And you can't have that. And I will add this to that. The ERA rankings of the last few World Series champions, John, have been 12th out of 30 teams. Mm-hmm. What does that mean? That means that you can't be bad at pitching, but you don't have to be great.
Right.
What has the run production rank been? 5th of teams that go to the World Series. There is no exception on that. You have to score. This Tigers team was 11th last year in runs scored. They're 14th this year in runs scored. It's not, they're not producing enough, and the rotation to me looked great on paper. How is it looking now on paper? Flaherty on paper. Verlander on paper.
Right.
Mize on paper.
The team's going to be in trouble if the pitching doesn't improve. And
right.
the early concern for me is I know it's only 12 games, and I do believe in the 40-game barometer, but you don't want to get in a hole where you're chasing 500. And they're 4-8 right now, and they just lost their last two with their aces. So who stops the bleeding?
Right.
Somebody's got to step up and stop the bleeding, because I don't want them getting into this situation where they're 7-8 games under 500, 30 games in. When you chase 500, then you got to get above it 10 games to even have a chance to get in. You don't want to get in that hole.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. Texter says you really don't know what you have until you're 40 games in. That said, there are some serious red flags right now. Well, you want to still be in it when you're 40 games in, right?
Well, we'll talk about this more when we come back, but there are some things that I think as fans that probably concern us more because we have the pain of what happened at the end of last year than it is for A.J. Hinch or Scott Harris.
That coming your way next, right here on 97.1.
Hey, lately it feels like the banking world is constantly shifting. You got mergers, name changes, digital-only apps that don't know your face or your neighborhood. But in Michigan, one thing isn't changing, and it's the commitment that First Merchants Bank has to our local community. I've been banking with First Merchants for a number of years now, and it's about more than just where I keep my money. It's about the impact I see them making every single day. I'm talking about real boots on the ground work with local nonprofits that keep our cities vibrant and down payment grants that help our neighbors finally unlock the door to their first home. First Merchants provides high-level service delivered by local people who live, work, and shop right here in the great state of Michigan. They aren't just passionate about banking, they're passionate about helping our state prosper. Why settle for a bank that just sees a zip code? Bank with an award-winning team that truly cares about your community. FirstMerchants.com. All you have to do is visit FirstMerchants.com today to find a branch near you. First Merchants Bank, helping you prosper. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Great to have you guys with us. 97-1, 4-8. Are the Detroit Tigers a team with World Series aspirations? At what point does that become a bigger deal? And it's natural to wonder. I think Tigers fans are likely asking themselves, is this team at its core essence more like the one that was gangbusters to start the year last year?
And to finish 24.
Right. Or is it more like the one that completely fell off, that no one thought was going to win a playoff series a season ago, and is now kind of scuffling at the gate? The concern is so many guys were having career years last year. Baez and McKinstry and these guys that normally wouldn't be making all-star games. That's the concern. At the same time, I think Riley Green can play better than he did last year. I think Kerry Carpenter can have a more complete year this year. You've added Kevin McGonigal. Which of the concerns that are there troubles you the most?
I think the pitching, I trust it more with Valdez and his track record. Skubal certainly in his track record. Flaherty is going to be up and down. Casey Mize, if the splitter is working, like that's always like in the first inning, like, is the splitter working? All right, it is. Today's going to be a good day. If it's not, hopefully we can get 4 innings out of them. And so it's kind of where I'm at with the pitching staff, but I do trust it more than I trust the bats. And here's the thing is, and the point I was going to make before we broke, Tom mentioned the 40-game rule. And normally, in terms of just analyzing a team, I agree, 40, 50 games, you get a better feel of what this team is going to be throughout the course of the year. But with what you just brought up, do you trust that this team is more like it was at the beginning of last year or the end of last year? As fans, we just watched a team that had a 15.5 game lead just completely lose it, and it was mainly because of the bats. And we have that hangover because we didn't add a bat, but we're excited about McGonigal, and Colton Key started off well, but there's no other juice to this lineup. And we have that hangover effect. And that's why I said it's probably not the same. I'm sure it's concerning to AJ. It's concerning to Scott Harris. But they're probably much more analytical about it than we are. Hey, the bats are going to come alive. The pitching staff's going to get right. We're going to be just fine. That's what AJ and Scott would say right now. The problem as a fan is we have that pain of losing it last year, and it's starting off very similar to what it was. So I think most fans are going to sit there and say they're more like the team that ended the season last year.
Science teaches you, right? The greater the sample size, the more accurate the result. Unfortunately, this is now becoming a larger sample size of iffy pitching and consistently unproductive offense. Who in this lineup can you rely on? And I'm going right back to the kid again,
right?
McGonigal. I know that I'm getting a good at-bat for him. Who does he remind you of, by the way?
Well, I mean, I have had thoughts of Tony Gwynn, and part of that is he a Tony Gwynn type player? Probably not going to be that type of Hall of Famer. Maybe he has a Hall of Fame career. I don't know. But on my Instagram feed, right, all of these baseball stats come up, and they talk about the fact that he only had 12 strikeouts in a season, and he was just an unbelievable contact player. And there are times where I get that sense from him. And I don't want to bring up this name because everybody gets all mad. He's not here. But it's Alex Bregman, a professional hitter that is a little smaller in stature, still has a little bit of power, but is that guy that you want at the plate when you have runners in scoring position because you just trust that he's going to put the ball in play.
When I ask this to the weekend audience, you have your logical thinkers who get upset. Oh, it's too early. Don't say Tony Gwynn. No, I'm not asking that. I'm asking, in your mind, when you see him play, who comes in there? I'm not asking you to forecast that he's going to be a Hall of Fame player, but I will say this. To me, my name is a guy that I would have begged, borrowed, and stealed to have on this team. Stephen Kwan with power. The Guardians guy that, how much of a pain is he? You always know he's going to put the ball in play. And to me, Stephen Kwan with power.
Yeah. I mean, that a guy that just has professional at-bats. That's the thing I keep coming back to is when you watch him at the plate, like you can see that, first of all, he protects the strike zone. He's not a Javi Baez where he's swinging at things that his bat can't even reach. And he works a count for the pitcher. He's not afraid to swing at a first pitch, but he makes contact.
I feel strongly that Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green are going to get resolved. I don't have that same feeling about Spencer Torkelson. I'm encouraged by what I'm seeing from Parker Meadows more so lately. I mean, that's such a welcome sight. He needed to produce offensively this year. I think the two guys that I'm probably most concerned about are Torkelson and Flaherty. Flaherty's going out there today. Mm-hmm. He cannot be fluttery. He's got to be Flaherty today. All right? Too much fluttery with that knuckle curve not knuckling. Yeah. Too much of that stuff. He's his best when his second best pitch is a slider. We've got to see 3-pitch Captain Jack today. Big outing today.
Yeah, 3-pitch, and he needs to get ahead in the count. Like he is best when he has that confidence and he gets that, that 1-2 count or 0-2 count. Like most pitchers are like that, but I think he's one of those pitchers that that's what he needs to be successful.
When he starts throwing that ball around, this is not good. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
He chucks that ball in the air up, and I'm like, that always precipitates a disaster, right? It's a level of frustration that shows that problems are near.
Well, and it's the situation that the Tigers are in right now, and as fans, I think most people would still sit there and say, yeah, we think we've got better. The odds are in our favor when Skubal and Valdez are on the mound. Last night's not a great example of that, but those are two guys that we believe we can trust. After that, Flaherty and Montero. Montero was good. Now, he didn't get a win because he didn't get any run support, but he was good through the first 5 innings of his last start. And then you look at Casey Mize, and I think Casey and Jack are very similar because you kind of know in the first inning exactly what that day is going to bring. Do they have their stuff or do they not?
And Jack, look, you got to get through inning 5. You're a starting pitcher. You have to be able to get through 5 innings today. The team needs you. The bullpen needs you. That's exactly and precisely what needs to happen. Better pitch selection. Torkelson, Green, Carpenter. I'm loving the ABS. Oh my gosh, I'm absolutely loving it. You're making a face that you're not with me. You should be with me. I don't think you are.
I am initially, yes, I like the ABS. But I think everyone's still trying to figure it out. What do the numbers tell us? And what are the numbers eventually going to be? Do we just want to sit there and watch a whole bunch of walks throughout the game? Not particularly, but I do like base runners.
Coming your way next, Cade's injury. Was it actually a blessing in disguise? That's next, right here on 97.1.
Brought to you by Guardian Alarm. Cade Cunningham made his return to the floor last night for the first time in 22 days since suffering a collapsed lung over 3 weeks ago. In just 26 minutes, he had 13 points and 10 assists as he helped the Pistons dominate the Bucks 137-111 for their 58th win this year. Jalen Duren and Duncan Robinson each had 20-point games as the Pistons need to remain unbeaten in their final 2 games of the year to eclipse 60 wins. The franchise has only done that twice before in 2006 and 1989. Detroit's next game is tomorrow down in Charlotte. The Tigers suffered a frustrating 8-6 loss yesterday to the Twins. With their 4th straight loss, fans aren't the only ones growing frustrated. Here's A.J. Hinch after the game. The comeback Hinch is referring to was after Detroit trailed 7-0 through 5 innings. They eventually got 2 runs in the 6th and 4 in the 7th to make it 8-6, but some costly decisions at the plate like bad challenges or poor 3-0 swings diminished any momentum the Tigers had built. Detroit hopes to avoid a 4-game sweep when they face the Twins for the final game of the series today at 1:40. At the Corwell Health Sports Desk, I'm Brendan Shabath. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
Good morning, one and all. Well, Cade Cunningham back last night in a big way. Presence felt against, admittedly, a Milwaukee Bucks team playing more like the Yucks, playing out the string. Cade Cunningham, 10 assists, 13 points on 6 of 11 shooting, was an absolute help, and he's back now with this team. What blows, I think, all of us away is that this team, it was 13-5 without him. That's a winning percentage of .722 without Cade Cunningham. Mm-hmm. They have a winning percentage of .729 with Cade Cunningham. The winning percentage with and without is essentially identical. Now, neither one of us is about to say something stupid because some listeners will think we're going down that road. We're not. But what does it say that they were able to perform so admirably with him out? And could we be looking back after a postseason run and saying, you know what? It's not that, we are glad about Cade's lung issue, but boy, did that really massively jack up the confidence level of these guys. Well,
you're always looking for the silver lining. And, I mean, Jim and I were doing the show when the news broke that, he lost tire pressure. And it was instant panic. What does this mean? Because they were still chasing the 1 seed. And we thought, with Boston coming on and Jason Tatum being back, they were playing, they hadn't played well against Cleveland with Cade Cunningham. What did it mean? And when he was down, what it meant was Dennis Jenkins had to step up and play. Kevin Huerter, whether it was JB and the coaching staff finding out how to use him or him trying to figure out how to play with this team, they had to find out how could he contribute. There were so many guys that stepped up to be able to, and I'm not sitting there talking about, Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren was going to have to be Jalen Duren. And Cade's going to have to be himself now that he's back, but you were going to have to get better production from different guys on different nights. And whether it was Duncan Robinson, it was Asar, Ron Howland, Dennis Jenkins, Paul Reed, Tolu Smith, different guys stepped up, and now they have more depth, more confidence, as you talked about, going into the postseason because they were forced into action and forced to produce. I absolutely think, guys, this is ultimately going to be a blessing. I think the rest of this team proved this to themselves. Now, you often see in the NBA, star goes down, the rest of the team rises up, wins a game they're not supposed to win because they want to prove that we're far more than just a one-man team. We don't need to know that with the Pistons. But again, when you consider that this team was 14 wins 2 seasons ago, no team in the history of the NBA has ever gone from the worst record in the NBA to winning the NBA title in 2 years. This team entering the postseason, by all accounts, looks like a viable title contender, and I continue to laugh at the stupid odds that have them like the 7th best odds to win the NBA championship. It's interesting because I've been on a roller coaster myself, as we were with a lot of our pro teams in the city. But I think that they're contenders for the Eastern Conference. I don't know that they're necessarily. You get into a 7-game series and anything can happen. I don't know that they have enough if Wembanyama is back and healthy for the playoffs to beat San Antonio in a 7-game series. Oklahoma City, even Cleveland. I don't know that they can do that. I want to see it. Well, you're going to have to beat
Cleveland or Atlanta in all likelihood to
Yeah.
get to the Eastern Conference Finals. So you're going to have to beat a good team to get to that point. But the reality is these guys, John, the average win total of NBA champions this century is 60 wins. They have a chance to get to 60 wins if they win their final 2 games. It seems to me like they're coaching in a way, JB's coaching in a way that they want to attain that 60 wins. It'll come down to Friday at Charlotte because Indiana's already packed up shop and gone home a long time ago.
They did that a couple months ago, yeah.
But what these guys are doing, like last night, all 5 scores in double figures. I mean, the other night, all 5 scores in double figures. Ron Holland, 18 points, 3 of 4 from 3. The total contributions from all of these guys is exactly what you're going to need if you don't have that Robin next to Cade.
But did you develop one? I mean, and I'm not sitting there saying you developed one that is going to be there, that's the same guy every night, and you're going to get what you're going to get from Cade. Mm-hmm. You're going to get what you're going to get from Jalen Durant. Like, those, I think, are the givens. Tobias Harris is probably going to give you somewhere between 10 to 18 points a night. That's a given. But that rotating cast of characters, last night, Duncan Robinson scores 20. We've seen, Dennis Jenkins, in the absence of Cade, be that guy that can step in and be a scorer. If Duncan Robinson is not that guy on any given night, then it needs to be Dennis Jenkins. It needs to be somebody that steps up, and I think you've proven that in the absence of Cade. Those guys now have the confidence that, hey, maybe Thursday night it's me. Maybe on Friday night it's someone else. That they're going to have that rotating Robin versus not having one at all.
I'm going to give you my inner Super Bowl bubble, and I'm going to give you my outer Super Bowl bubble, NBA championship bubble.
Okay.
And I don't need you bursting my bubble. Okay. So my inside the bubble teams are San Antonio and OKC.
Right.
And that's it. Impressed as hell by how the Pistons played OKC without Cade at OKC. Mm-hmm. My outer bubble, meaning it wouldn't shock me if they won the NBA championship, but nobody outside of these 5 teams is winning it, period.
Okay.
Is Boston, Detroit, and Denver. So I have an inner bubble, most likely, and then I have an outer bubble, wouldn't shock me, could do it, but nobody outside of these 5 has any chance at all.
No, I would agree with that. I agree with that. Because I don't think Cleveland has what it takes, and certainly I don't think the Knicks will. And then you start looking at, the Lakers. I don't think that they have any staying power in the postseason. They may upset somebody early on, but that's about as far as it goes. And then you start thinking about all the other teams. And you mentioned Atlanta being hot. That there's no chance Atlanta wins an NBA championship this year. So I think you're right. It's got to be one of those 5 teams.
It's interesting. You walk into LCA, you do shows at LCA, you talk to people in and around the Pistons. There's a lot of tempering expectations. Hey, young team, they're the 11th youngest team in the league. 9 of the 11 teams younger have losing records. Mm-hmm. They haven't won a playoff series. They haven't,
a game at home.
Right, the game at home. They haven't done all these things that they're supposed to do. But, is it okay to dare to dream with these guys?
Oh, you can dream. There's no question about it. And I'm not saying this to burst any type of bubble, but there are certain steps. There are things you've got to learn in the postseason. They've skipped a number of steps, going from, as you mentioned, the worst record in the NBA to a team that has a chance within 2 years to win an NBA title. You got to win that first game at home. You've got to win a playoff series. And then what type of experience does Boston bring to the table if they face Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals? And how much of an advantage is that for them? What type of steps are they going to continue to skip to get to that title versus earning it the old school hard way of, hey, every year you get 1 step further or maybe 2 steps further before you, and those lessons that you learn pay off in the coming years?
I have way too much confidence in this team to lower the bar. I have way too much belief in their ability. So I will share with you that to me, success is winning the Eastern Conference. I will say that my expectation is that they make the Eastern Conference final. You don't get flowers if you do what's expected of you. You get flowers if you go above and beyond that. My expectation is they make the Eastern Conference final. I would consider it a disappointing playoff run, a failure of a playoff run if they don't make the Eastern Conference final. You got to beat that one good team, whether it's Cleveland or the Knicks. You have to get by them. You've got to get to the Eastern Conference final.
I would much rather play the Knicks, and if that's the case, then I would say, yeah, I'm right there with you. My expectation is that they do make the Eastern Conference Finals. That's that one step then of, are they going to skip steps on the way to get to an NBA championship in regards to what do they do when they're in the Eastern Conference Finals? And if it is Boston, like it's to me, that's more of a toss-up.
You don't look like a guy who skips a lot of steps.
No, we saw it with the Bad Boys. We've seen it with a lot of championship teams that we've had here. There are certain teams that you got to find a way to get over the hump, or certain steps that you've got to go through to eventually get to that championship level.
Can I tell you what scares me just a wee bit?
What?
Have you looked at some of these potential first-round matchups? It's like you're praying for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Sure.
But Charlotte can score with anybody. If you have a couple defensive lapses, you could find yourself down 0-1. Miami has gotten the better end of you this year.
It's the only team that you have a losing record against.
Right. So, it's like you're looking at it 7-8 or Orlando, Philadelphia. I would much rather get 7 or 8 than 9 or 10, personally speaking.
John, you know how I feel about this. I want nothing to do with the Heat because of Spoelstra.
I know.
Spoelstra will grind out 6-7 game series. Yeah.
He figures out the way. He is the Dan Hurley, like, hey, Michigan, you score 90 points a game. We're gonna put you in the 60s.
And they are 1-2 against them, I think. And they played, I know, one of their worst games in March against them. And Cade was playing. It was very early March.
Miami's not playing really good right now. Now, if they win,
don't matter.
So
flip that switch.
I understand that and that's why I keep going to, there are steps that you've got to get over, because there are teams and coaches that can flip a switch, and we don't know what that switch looks like for the Detroit Pistons.
We're coming to you if you're on the line. Also, Governor Whitmer, was there a questionable fashion choice? We'll discuss that next, right here on 97.1. I go right to news, and then we go right to Gretchen Whitmer. And then the segment's done. So the whole segment is news and Gretchen Whitmer.
Hey, America's favorite place to watch every single great sporting event is Stadium Swim. It's located at Circa Resort and Casino. You can catch all the biggest games at a viewing experience that is absolutely built for us, a sports fan. Chill in one of the 6 pools on 3 different levels for a perfect view of their massive 40-foot tall high-definition screen. You got a great view no matter where you are. Located at Circa Resort and Casino in downtown Las Vegas, and it's right there on Fremont Street. Stadium Swim. Book your spot today at circalasvegas.com. All right, we'll get back to Pistons talk, and we'll get back to the Governor Whitmer fashion style in just a little bit.
We're getting ready to make some frenemies.
Yeah, let's go to Heather with the news.
Well, police are one step closer to solving the disappearance of Lynette Hooker. So police in the Bahamas have arrested her husband, Brian, right? So he was taken into custody on Wednesday by the Royal Bahamas Police Force after Lynette just vanished from that 8-foot dinghy they were traveling on. And everything about the story was mysterious, right? Like we read the details when the story first broke, and it just didn't seem to add up. And it sounds,
Is it passing the smell test?
Yeah, no.
For you guys, not at all?
So he is being questioned right now. And the search is still on to try to find her remains. Police are using professional divers. They've used drone technology. The U.S. Coast Guard helicopter has been involved as well. And his arrest comes after Lynette's daughter actually had a lot to say about what she believes went on. She believes something might have happened. She described their rocky relationship as of late. Apparently, there's a history of him choking her out and threatening to throw her overboard.
What?
That's what the daughter
all
says.
You need to hear, though? I mean, if the daughter is saying this, and then the idiot allegedly, perhaps, maybe went through with it?
Yeah, I even before you heard some of those things, it didn't pass the smell test.
Not at all. And she also said that it was him who always drove the boat because he always wanted to be in control. So she said the fact that my mom had the keys on her was shocking for her to hear because she said he was the one that always drove the boat. So that to her also didn't pass the smell test, right? It's all very fishy. This is pretty cool. Detroit's food scene is about to get a major spotlight. So the city will now be included in the Michelin Guide selection process, giving restaurants the opportunity to be considered for Michelin stars.
Oh, awesome.
Which is pretty cool. And it's all part of this brand new Great Lakes Regional Edition that includes Detroit, Cleveland, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, and Pittsburgh. And it is a pretty big deal because the Michelin Guide is considered the gold standard in dining, and it allows, these restaurants to be awarded stars for, the best, recognition.
I think our food scene is the gold standard. Of the other cities you mentioned, I was trying to figure out who's second.
I haven't, maybe I have been to all of them. I don't know enough about their food scene, though.
Indy's pretty good. And there's been a lot of...
What are they known for?
Well, St. Elmo's would be their probably their most famous restaurant. They've got some great delis, and I don't even know if those type of restaurants are included in this. But
speaking of what's included, the first official list of restaurants for this new Great Lakes edition is expected in 2027.
Okay.
So we'll see, but local leaders say that this could be huge for tourism and the hospitality industry as a whole. So great news. Yeah. Rules at the Masters are strict, right? We all know that. And they apply to everyone, even a major champion. So Mark
Calavecchia?
Yes! Calcavecchia. Thank you. The 1989 British Open winner was kicked out of Augusta National this week. And the reason? He was on his cell phone.
Come on, man. You know
it's
the rules.
It's a big no-no. We don't know all of the details, so I can't let you know exactly what he was doing or who he was talking to or where he was using his phone. I don't know all of that, but we do know, that's a huge no-no. You can't be on your phone. And security reportedly, escorted him out. This was on Tuesday, and he didn't fight it. And he had been asked about it, but he said, you know what? I basically respect
The rules.
the rules, and,
I broke them
and
yeah.
I'm not going to say anything negative about it. So stop asking me.
Pet peeve of mine is when people undoubtedly will say, "Oh, I can't believe you kicked him out for that." No, listen. We all have rules that we may or may not agree with. Okay, doesn't mean you don't have to follow them.
Right.
You have to follow them. Oh, Sha'Carri Richardson banished from the Olympics for weed. That's so dumb. It's the rule.
Right.
Know the rules.
Yep.
Understand
I
the
agree.
rules. Come
This
on,
is
man.
so on brand for the Masters and so snooty that I love it. The fact that it was on a Tuesday, it wasn't during a real round, but also you don't get a warning.
The warning is the rules that are well posted, and they know it ahead of time.
I do want to know the situation. I mean, I agree with you. Rules are rules. You got to
Right.
follow them. But like,
Is there emergency?
well, yeah, where was he? Was he all by himself? No one was around?
Yeah.
I want to know a little
They're
bit more.
watching you. They're in the bushes.
Yeah,
they're
they're
watching
always
what
there.
you're doing
They-
there.
Yeah.
He should have
yeah.
said he was talking to the president like Tiger Woods.
You know who I'm
Right.
talking to right
Yes,
now?
yes.
Hey, if you want to win $2,000 playing the 2 Grand Slam, give us a call now, 248-539-9797. Finally, Jamie Ding is on a roll. On Jeopardy last night, the Grosse Pointe North graduate pulled off an unlikely comeback to secure his 19th straight
Wow.
win. So he entered the final round behind for the very first time in this whole streak, right? All the contestants got the final Jeopardy clue incorrect, but he was a very conservative bettor. So he walked away with $9,201, and that was good enough for the win. So he is now tied for 8th place on the Jeopardy consecutive wins list, and he won more than $539,000 in total, putting him in 7th place on the regular season money list and 15th on the all-time money list.
Are you
So-
guys like me with Jeopardy? Like, I don't get a damn thing right the whole time, and then it's sports, and like, I'll show you, you
Yeah.
idiots. How do you not know this? Oh, do you ever get out? Do you ever live your life? The average, I think I averaged the number of questions I get right, and it's embarrassingly low. I think I average 7 questions right a show.
I never watch it. The only one I've ever, the only one I see repeatedly is Sean Connery on Saturday Night Live.
That's good.
Let it snow.
There you go. I wouldn't advise watching Jeopardy. It's a guaranteed thing to make you feel dumb.
Yeah.
I enjoy the show. Yeah, I don't know the
Well,
the
because you probably
clues.
have all the answers.
Well,
I do.
You probably know all the answers.
I definitely do not, unless the topic is candy or something like
Yes,
that.
yes. But you know what we do have the answers for?
Yes.
The 2 Grand Slam.
All right, let's give away some money. I'm excited to play. We all know the rules. 60 seconds, 10 questions, $25 for each question answered correctly. And if you get them all right, you're going to walk away with $2,000.
All right, let's hit Carson. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Good morning, Carson.
Yeah, we got you. You ready to rock and roll?
Oh, I'm excited.
All right, Carson, this is it, your chance to win. If there's one you don't know, feel free to say pass. We'll get back to it if there's enough time. But your time is going to start right now. Here we go. How many times has Scottie Scheffler won the Masters?
Twice.
Who is the only golfer to win 6 Masters championships?
Pass.
Who did the Pistons play last night?
The Pistons played last night. Shit. Pass.
Who voiced Shrek in the 2001 movie Shrek?
Yep, sorry. Had to call it off there.
Was that
a bad word?
Was that the bad word? I
Yes,
couldn't
yes.
tell if it
Oh,
was
no.
just shoot.
Too close.
Yeah.
Had to let it go.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't do that. We've had one of those at least one other time happen. You can't swear during the 2 Grand Slam. Do we need
We know
to
it
say
can
that?
be frustrating. We know it can be frustrating.
Well, he got one right.
He did get one right.
I don't know
No, he
what it
didn't.
is
He's
about it.
disqualified.
Well, okay.
yeah, no,
sure,
he's not going
but-
to get paid
rules.
for it. Yeah.
Governor Tom has dropped the gavel.
Uh-huh.
He's disqualified.
Hey,
No,
we
I
just
get
talked
that,
about
but-
setting boundaries, didn't we, Mark?
We certainly did.
Yeah,
and
so-
we
You
Got to know
established
the
that.
rules, right? Rules are rules.
Yeah.
Can you swear at the Masters?
Probably
No.
not. Although Tiger breaks that every single year.
Yeah, I don't know. So let's go through the 3 that we did have, since we have no winner, no player today. How many times did Scottie Scheffler win the Masters? He has won it 2 times.
Twice.
Who was the only golfer to win 6 Masters
The best
championships?
golfer of all time.
Yeah, well, okay. I
Easily.
appreciate you saying that. It's Jack Nicklaus. And who did the Pistons play last night? It is not. Oh, shoot. It was.
There's a lot of typing going on as well.
And you could mess this one up too, but it is the Bucks.
Ooh.
The Yucks last night put it on them by 26 points.
Yeah, boy, I'm sure disappointed for you, Mark. It's your first opportunity at the 2 Grand Slam, and it was a dud.
It was a dud. How often does that happen?
Not often.
No, not often. I think we've had one other individual, but we got further down the list before they used it.
I got to tell you something about Detroit. I average one time hitting the dump button every show.
Really?
Anywhere else I've been, it's been like one time every 6 months. Here it's one time a show. What is it about our station that people forget they're on the air or don't care they're on the air?
Well, it's a very passionate fan base, but
yeah.
I had this thought listening to you, and I've heard this actually happen several times. It's usually after a game, and people are fired up.
Yeah.
Now, we got this text from Mike and Clarkson. He says that dropping F-bombs at Augusta will get you disqualified and removed from the premises.
Unless you're Tiger Woods, in which case it's fine.
Yeah.
When is that guy going to have to play by the rules of anybody else? Is this going to be the first time?
Uh-oh, I fired him up.
I don't know. It's interesting because Steve Spurrier, one of the very first meetings that we had is he let us know as professional athletes what words we were allowed to say at practice. And, he went through a list of those and instantly we're like, that's not going to last. And it lasted all of about 30 seconds.
This text just came in mocking me. We don't give them a warning. I can't give them a warning or I'm going to be fined by the FCC.
Yeah,
You're disrespecting the GOAT here with this. I can't believe it.
2 Grand Slam is brought to you by Femininio Law on Thursdays. Get David, get paid. And no payments out today.
Coming your way next, Gretchen Whitmer. Did she have a fashion faux pas? We'll tackle that next here on 97.1.
Hey, if your furnace or AC isn't getting the job done, and we're in that time of the year where it could be both in the same day, do what I did. Call the team at Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. Mastercraft has 24/7 emergency service, and they back their work with a 5-year warranty. They've got an early spring special. If you buy a new furnace or AC, you're going to get half off installation, and maybe you're tired of some of those power outages. Hey, don't worry about it. They've got generators in stock and ready to install. Financing is available. Schedule your free in-home estimate. You can do it online at mastercraftheating.com.
A few weeks ago, Mark Champion called my evening show because he did not like criticism I had of Asar Thompson.
Oh.
And look, I welcome that. You can call in. He was absolutely professional about it. I think we all acknowledge Asar Thompson's an otherworldly defensive player.
Yes.
And we all acknowledge that he's a shooting guard who can't shoot. We all acknowledge that. The question is that where we differ is how much of a deal is that? Is it a big deal? Is it a little deal or a no deal? I happen to think when the rest of the roster has a hard time putting the biscuit in the basket as well, it's a bigger of a deal. And, well, Mark Champion took me to task on that one, to say the least. Took me to task. Well, I'll say this. I saw this last week, and I about fell out of my chair because of the different rules of sports fandom. I don't even have to write this one. It is so obvious. It is so out there. It does not even need to be stated. Some of the rules of sports fandom, you accept all teams from a city or you get none. Never support a rival transfer. You can't celebrate.
Wait, say that one again. A rival transfer?
Yeah, I don't like transferring to a rival.
Okay.
I don't like I think that door should be closed. You go to Michigan, that means you're never going to play for Ohio State.
Okay.
That's my belief. I don't think you should get.
So you don't like Roddy Gale Jr. and the fact that he was a key part of a national championship run for Michigan.
I'm sure that you do like that. I'm sure that you do.
Yeah, because he finally saw the light and
he played well.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, I'm not a fan. I think, John, that you shouldn't be able to celebrate a rival's loss if your rival is worse than that team. Okay?
Okay.
So like Michigan State was like, oh, we can't wait to celebrate. Where are you? You're
Right.
home. You don't get to celebrate. But I didn't even feel like this had to be written. Gretchen Whitmer,
Yeah.
this week, comes out. It's go green forever, but just for tonight, go blue. Go blue. She has 2 daughters that go to Michigan, and the sweatshirt says, Michigan Mom. Now, she would not be caught dead being photographed in a maize and blue sweatshirt at any other time. I got a big problem with this. Gretchen, you seem like a delightful person. You really do. But I this is sacrilegious. Garnet and gold over my bed. I have worn garnet and gold, Florida State. You know when? When I lose a bet. If you didn't lose a bet, there's no explanation for this. Why do I feel like I'm being sent to Exile Island from the rest of the morning show here?
Well, because it's very difficult for me to defend anything that Governor Whitmer is or has done.
Okay.
And you're forcing me to do something I don't want to do.
Okay.
Her sweatshirt said Michigan Mom.
Which she is.
Correct. And I have a daughter that goes to Purdue. Now, okay, not a rival, not a threat in much of anything.
Right.
I have, to support my daughter, worn a shirt. In fact, I think I wore one in here that had Purdue on it when she went down there. I helped her move in. She bought me a Purdue shirt. I wore it.
That's not apples to apples, though.
I have a flannel that has a Purdue P on it. It's okay. We could get all the jokes out of there that you want. But I wouldn't wear one in celebration of a championship. Like if Purdue were to, which they beat Michigan, and I'm not going to then the next day, unless I lost a bet to my daughter, wear anything that celebrates that. Now,
of course,
it would be different for me if Jack made a terrible decision and he went to Ohio State. It would be very difficult for me to wear anything with the Buckeyes, but I would do it to support my son in certain situations.
Fair. You're talking about Purdue. Purdue hasn't threatened Michigan in 1,000 years.
No, but I just brought up Jack has aspirations of playing college sports. And if he went to Ohio State, which would be painful, I, at times, not if they played Michigan, sorry, bud, you're on your own. But I would support him and I would have to wear it at some point. And if God forbid, also he went to play for Michigan State. Now it would be a little easier to handle this one because Pat Fitzgerald is a good friend of mine, and I think he's going to do wonderful things there. If he went to play for Pat Fitzgerald, I could support that. If he went to play for Ryan Day, that'd be right. Tough. But I don't have an issue with her sending her kids to Michigan. They obviously are making better decisions in their life choices than she made. And if she's going to wear a Michigan mom,
didn't she go to state?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that decision there,
There's
John?
a lot of things wrong with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe she just couldn't get in. But
Maybe.
She's wearing a Michigan mom supporting her daughters. I don't have an issue with that.
I do.
I'm with John. I don't think it's a huge issue. The fact that it says Michigan mom, her daughter, at least one of her daughters goes to Michigan.
Right.
Michigan had just won. She is a political figure for Michigan. It was exciting for the state.
If she's doing it for politics, I have an issue with that. If she's doing it to support her kids, I have no issue with that.
I don't really have an issue.
If it was a Michigan national championship sweatshirt versus a Michigan mom, then I think it falls into a different category.
I
It's the
wonder
Michigan mom.
if he's okay with it, though, because of who you support, though. You know, if the shoe was on the other foot.
Because he supports Michigan.
Right. Would you be okay if she was Michigan all the way, Michigan State mom? Would you be okay with that?
Sure.
I think so.
I don't know about that.
I think so.
I'm not lying to you.
Oh, no, I don't think you're lying to me. But it's just, you're seeing her in a color scheme.
Yeah.
That
She
warms
looks
the
good in
cockles
blue
of
and
your
yellow.
heart.
Yeah, Amazing Blue looks good on her.
Right. So we ask you guys, all right, because I am taking a terrible L on this. The governor, Michigan State through and through, go green, is seen in public wearing a Michigan mom shirt. Now, what I would do is you wear it in the house, curtains closed. You know, they come home from school, you want to show support. Come hell or high water, there is no way I am allowing myself to be seen like this. It's not that it's not a good color for her. It has nothing to do with it. It violates the very principle of fandom.
It's not like she's wearing a jersey or Michigan fan. It says Michigan mom. I think that's the part that I'm okay with.
You would be more loyal to your school than your children.
In a nutshell, yes.
Wow.
In a nutshell, yes, I would be. Now, we would have talks about, like, listen, Florida's a better school than Florida State. You know, no one goes to Florida State unless they don't get into Florida. You know, like all those talks.
Yeah, I get to all the rivalry discussion.
But if you have a slacker as a kid, maybe Florida State's better than nothing. Okay? Maybe it's better than nothing.
So John, if you're the analyst for Michigan football.
Yeah.
Let's say Jack's the starting quarterback at Ohio State and you're doing the Michigan-Ohio State game. In your heart, who are you pulling for?
I'm still pulling for Michigan to win. I'm still pulling for him to have a good game.
So this came up years ago when Jamie was on the show, and I'm with you.
Yeah, I 100% am pulling that Jack would have a great game.
4 touchdowns, 500 yards, but he loses by 1.
Yeah, but the Michigan quarterback throws for 5 touchdowns.
Yes.
Texter says, I don't see the problem with Whitmer. I'm an Ohio State fan, and I enjoyed Michigan winning the Natty. Mark, my wife is an MSU grad. Son is heading to Michigan in engineering. She's already on the blue train. Kids are different rules. I don't know. I like that the house divided thing. I mean, God bless you. I don't get it. Who gives a bleep? Can we go back to making fun of the Tigers? I could not marry Georgia, Tennessee, or Florida State. I could not marry.
Oh, that was a deal breaker. Wow.
It wouldn't work. I'm just being honest with you. It wouldn't work. Huh. You know, it wouldn't work. I don't know how you people make it work. I really don't.
He makes some fun bets during game time.
Sure. Yeah.
Fun bets that leave me angry for the rest of the night. I don't know how you do it, but anyway, we ask you guys.
I mean,
Governor Whitmer.
You can make some bets that you win either way.
Suddenly, it's not so bad. Suddenly, yeah. Governor Whitmer is spotted. She posts that she's wearing a Michigan sweatshirt. Onsides or offsides, fair or foul for the Michigan Stater to ever be seen in the gear from the other side. Coming your way next on the show. Well, it's NFL Draft Month. NFL Draft Month indeed. So there's a player for each of us that would get an A. There's a player that would get an F for the Detroit Lions at 17. We'll tell you who that is next here on 97.1.
Hey, if you're thinking about a new truck this month, a Ram truck should be right there at the top of the list. I've seen the Ram side by side with the competition. I've driven a Ram, and the Ram truck deals at your Metro Detroit Ram dealer this month are exceptional for power. Not much of a competition here. You could choose from Ram's award-winning Pentastar V6 or Ram's legendary 5.7 Hemi V8. And for the competition in the same class, why would you choose or trust any full-size pickup at any price with a 4-cylinder engine? Try passing somebody with a 4-banger or towing somebody and passing. You can't do it. The full-size Ram 1500 is built right here in the state of Michigan at Sterling Heights. For comfort and easy-to-use technology, nothing beats a Ram. And Ram also offers a 5-link coil suspension. All it's going to take is one test drive, and you will feel how much smoother the Ram is. Right now, lease payments on a new Ram truck are phenomenal. So are there financing offers for well-qualified buyers. Do me a favor. Pull into any Ram dealer today. Just start one, and you're going to hear and feel the difference.
Great to have you guys with us. Mark Ryan in for Jim, John Jansen, Heather Parks, and company. Greg Hargrave, Tom Milliken. NFL draft. What is going on with the lack of buzz for this thing? Like, I feel like just about every single year, I run out of the content, the A-level content, like a week before the draft, and it's always like, how are we going to get another week out of this? How are we going to do this? Now, we had the draft. The pick wasn't high, but there was excitement because the draft was here. I'm finding that quite possibly the audience this time around is about as tepid as we are about this.
Part of it is where the Lions have been drafting in recent years. It's not a top 10 pick. It's not a top 5 pick. So it's not a quote unquote sexy pick. And you're not getting one of the, quote unquote can't miss, type of prospects. And there's a little bit more gamble involved. It's the fact that this year, when you're talking about taking an offensive or defensive lineman, now you would think an edge would have everyone fired up. But most people believe they're going offensive line in the first round, D-line or edge in the second round, and then you're not picking in the third, at least as of now, but you have 2 fourths. So there's some excitement because you are adding to this roster, and some of it is the feeling of the Detroit Lions missing the playoffs last year and the fan base starting to question leadership from the GM, from the coach. I think there's a lot of factors involved as to why it's not as exciting as it has been in previous years.
You like how I just try to gloss right over that Gretchen Whitmer, Michigan thing that wasn't going too well for me?
You're not getting great feedback on the text?
Wasn't going to. You never hope your children lose, ever. Dummies. Dennis and AP. Well, listen to this. My kids were not even allowed to apply to Michigan. See? No issue where they're supporting her the school of her kids and her state. She's the governor of Michigan. Do you want her to root for Connecticut? Got to support the kids, man. Supporting your children trumps all childish rivalry nonsense. Rivalry still means something to some people. Dude from Florida, a weirdo. So says Rob from Detroit.
I think when you put it in that context, too, like you're going to support your alma mater versus your own flesh and blood. I don't get that.
Well, but you just said you would root for Michigan over your own flesh and blood.
If it's the head-to-head, I'm rooting for him to do well.
Right.
But
his team to wear the L.
Yes.
Do well, wear the L.
Yeah.
And it's only the Ohio State scenario.
Right.
So if you had a son that played for Purdue, they're playing Michigan.
They're no threat.
Then you root for Purdue?
Well, there's no threat. I'm not worried about it.
What about the Big Ten championship game a few years ago? It was Michigan-Purdue. What if Jack was Purdue's quarterback?
I'm still I am hoping that because I am employed and it'll be a financial benefit to me to win that game, which in turn is a financial benefit to him. It's better if Dad does better at his job. And I have nothing to do with what's going on the field.
What if he puts on a show, lights up Michigan's offense or defense, and
I'll be
becomes
so
the
proud.
number 1 pick of the draft?
I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say I'm not proud. I'll be a proud dad. I'm not going to be sad if he wins.
Is your blood blue or maize?
Technically, there's some blue in there.
I think if your son beat Michigan, you'd have an outward smile, but there would be a sadness behind the eyes.
Well, because I have a vested interest in what is going on in Ann Arbor, as I would obviously with my son.
Right.
I am there. I know these kids, and I am invested. I'm at practice. I talk to them. I share some of my experience, my knowledge of offensive line play, of football. And so there's a bit of it more of an investment than just being a fan of a team.
Fair enough. I have said that there is no excuse ever to be rocking the jersey of a rival. Unless you lose a bet, can't happen. If you're going to do it, it's inside the house, curtains closed. And somehow I find myself in the minority here.
Oh, this will be good.
Dean in Milford is up next. Dean, you're on 97.1.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
you always have to root for your children. I don't like always. And I'm on John's side. I'm really pissed off because you're making me stand up for Gretchen Whitmer.
Yeah.
It said Michigan mom. It wasn't a jersey. It wasn't a sweater. It wasn't anything like that. She was just pointing out she was a Michigan mom. So you got to kind of go with that.
No, it was.
Yeah.
But it
Hers,
was. She's
though,
wearing
doesn't
the
it, Dean?
colors, Dean. She's wearing the color. Dean, no, you're not rooting against your kids. You're rooting against your kid's team. There's a difference there.
No. But if your kids attend it, then it's your kids. But if your kids go to your rival, that says more about you and how bad you were as a parent.
Oh, come
than anything
on.
else.
Yeah.
Come on. You don't root for the rival.
100%.
You don't root
If
for the
your
rival,
kids
Dean.
end up going to your rival school, it's because you failed them as a parent.
Well,
I agree.
if her kids
They're
went to
making poor
Michigan,
life
they went to a
decisions.
better school.
They did. Yeah.
Right.
They did go to a better school, but she's also.
How is
you're
that
going to make
failing?
me say things I'm not allowed to say on the radio, and I get kicked off the radio
Oh.
because you make me say things I'm not supposed to. Whitmer's kids are on a better path than she was.
Yep.
So kudos
All
to her for doing one thing right in her life.
That call was just a bit outside.
I think it's time to move on.
Just a bit outside from
That's
Dean.
your first introduction to Dean, isn't
I'm
it?
an awful parent now. How about that? Bro, this is brutal. I don't understand it. I don't get it at all. But, then again, different strokes. I won't even wear the color of Florida State without the insignia on it. Like, I won't wear gold or
Sure,
garnet
I have
at all.
nothing in my wardrobe.
Yeah, you've said that.
This always comes up at St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Are you going to wear something green? No, I don't own anything green.
You could
Ever.
wear a different variety of green. It doesn't need to
I
be
don't
like
have
the
anything
Michigan
close to
State
green.
green, but you could wear
Right.
like a bright green or like a light green or
Yeah,
Why
I'm
would
not
he
going
do
to.
that? Do you
for
know-
St. Patrick's Day. You just for like a holiday.
Heather has green on today. Do you
I
know
do.
why they call it a green screen? Do you know why?
No.
Because nobody wears green. And that's why, because if you wore green, you would blend in with the background. Nobody wears green, which is why the green screen works.
Yeah.
I
That's
love
why.
green.
Well, I'll tell you what. The Masters is beginning today, believe it or not. Look at the excitement on John's face.
I
He's
can't wait.
incredibly excited. The Masters begins today, which means that John and I have a big problem. We have to win an Academy Award, and we're going to tell you why. Coming your way next here on 97.1.
Brought to you by M&M Garage Doors. After missing the last 11 games with a collapsed lung for the Pistons, Dr. Cunningham gave his best explanation and insight into the healing process of his injury. Cade was gone for a total of 22 days after suffering the injury. He came back impressively last night with 13 points and 10 assists in just 26 minutes as the Pistons beat the Milwaukee Bucks 137-111. The Pistons next play tomorrow in Charlotte. Twins beat the Tigers 8-6 last night as Detroit's offense struggled once again. Didn't help that Detroit started with a 6-run deficit after Framber Valdez gave up that many runs in the first inning. Minnesota added another in the fifth before Detroit finally got on the board in the sixth. Still left the bases loaded that inning after scoring twice. They also stranded a runner on second in the seventh after scoring 4 runs. Same thing happened again in the eighth as Javi Baez doubled with 1 out and wasn't brought home. That's 4 straight losses for Detroit and in 8 of their last 10. Series finale is today at 1:40. At the Corwell Health Sports Desk, I'm Brendan Shabath. For more, go to 971theticket or Odyssey.com.
Oh my. Look at the golf shoes that he has on. Oh, am I being rude? Oh, these stuck-up little golfers. Oh. Look at them, how they do what they do. How impressive is it? It blows me away.
Don't interrupt David Loggins.
I can't believe he played the one with the lyrics. I was so ready to hear the theme for the first time this spring, and he played this one.
I just looked up Masters theme and played it.
Oh, he's got the newest and latest and greatest, and all of the haves are sitting here around us. All of the haves, none of the have-nots. I just put it in a nutshell for you, didn't I?
All the haves.
Didn't I? All of the haves, none of the have-nots. The Masters begins today. John and I have a problem. You and I have a problem. And I can't believe we have the same problem because usually I have to do the act.
Yeah.
I have to act as though I'm going to give a damn. Here's the reality. I will usually watch Sunday. I will.
Okay.
But there's got to be a really compelling storyline for you to get me in on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And the thing that turns me off about the whole caboodle is just the snobbery, the arrogance, the hoity-toityness of the entire thing, which is just fundamentally against who I am.
I don't have an issue with the elite nature of the Masters because there's great tradition in it. And it's like the whole cell phone thing. I have no issue with that. I have no issue with their rules. I have no issue with some of the things that they are currently doing at the Masters.
How do you feel about the caddies having to wear the same thing?
I don't have like I have a uniform.
Yeah.
Okay, I wore a uniform every day for 20 years, so I don't have an issue with that. But I just don't care about golf. Like you said, there's got to be a compelling storyline. And this year, last year, I did watch, and I don't care what the storylines are at the beginning of it because there's 4 days of it. I'm not going to go home today and be like, oh, what's going on at the Masters? I don't care. Last year, it was obviously the story of Rory McIlroy. Is he going to be able to hold on? Is he going to gag again? He eventually got his, so Tiger's in rehab. Rory already got his. Scotty Scheffler probably not going to get arrested and then come back and play golf. So I don't what's the storyline for this year's Masters? What will it be on Sunday? I just the give a care factor for me just isn't there.
My grandfather, huge golf guy, rest in peace, said to me probably when I was too young to hear this and I didn't understand, but I remembered it. He said, the Masters is the best thing you can do with clothes on. Okay? That's what he said to me. And I don't believe him because I've tried to get into this and it's like watching paint dry. It's like watching grass grow. I don't understand the excitement. I think it's a great way to fall asleep. If you're looking for a nap, it's an unbelievable way. And here's what many may not realize. It gets no better than watching it on TV. If you ever go to an event or cover an event, you're sitting at one hole, you're watching dudes putt the same hole all day long, or you get the joy of watching them hit a 300-yard drive and then you can go chase the ball. Congratulations. TV is by a country mile as good as it gets. Couple years ago, my wife got me golf lessons, a pack of 3. I've used 1. I've used 1, and that's it. I need to use the other 2. Sweetheart, if you're listening, I'll use them. I promise I'll use them. I'll get around to it. But for me, look, everything from the etiquette, oh, I got to clap for the guy that I hate. Oh, what a beautiful putt. I can't stand that. The Happy Gilmore version of golf is what golf should be. You should have rivalries. You should hate the guy that you're up against. Why do you have to do this charade when you really hope that he misses it 100 yards to the left?
Well, and there are at times rivalries in golf. I just don't know that there's any compelling rivalries this year in the Masters. And if you're, one of the golf elite or if you're a Masters elite, please let me know why I should care about this year's Masters. Whoever wins it, they're going to get the green jacket, and they will be hailed as one of the Masters champions.
Sure.
As they should be.
90th Masters. You're the champion. You're the champion of the greatest event ever. It doesn't make sense that your Super Bowl is the first event of the year, but, an argument for another day.
Daytona does that.
I don't like that either. Yeah, it doesn't.
So
doesn't
I'm stunned that Mark is not a golf guy, and especially the
listen
Masters.
To this. Stereotyping. I tell you,
a lot of Southern, heritage in you, and I'm just surprised that not only that you don't like the Masters, but that you haven't been there. I love it. I think you guys are in the minority here, and I think you probably both think so too in terms of popularity. But are there more people out there like you guys that just don't get caught up in it? I love it. I love the tradition, the pageantry. Sunday, the back nine on Sunday at Augusta is awesome. I think it's one of the best settings in sports. It rivals the Rose Bowl and Twilight, where it is. And spring is here, too. And there's storylines.
The azaleas are blooming.
You know what the best thing to do in Augusta is?
Oh, boy.
Leaf.
Oh, my gosh.
Leaf. Opt out. No, honestly, Tom, I think it would be cool to go once and just to take it in because, it's like, the God's country and the beautiful scenery. And your eyes might not take in sights that beautiful again. But just the hoity-toityness behind the whole thing entirely rubs me the wrong way. For a number of years, I thought it needed Tiger. And then it was actually a relief when it felt like it didn't need Tiger anymore.
Golf needs Tiger.
Yeah.
The Masters doesn't need Tiger.
Right.
The Masters is unique in its own.
It stands alone.
What if Rory repeats? What if Bryson DeChambeau goes out there and gets his first green jacket? What, Scheffler, 3 out of 5? But the great thing about the Masters is there was no storyline in 96 when Norman jumped out to the huge 6-shot lead on Sunday. But Sunday, Faldo caught him because Norman gagged and Faldo played great golf. That was a great Masters Sunday. You don't know what the storyline's going to be, but there's always I'd say 9 out of 10 Masters, you have a great story that comes out of it.
So how about this? You guys are putting up a billboard that John and I on the highway are driving by. And your billboard has got to captivate us enough that we tune in. What does your billboard say? What is it saying to get? Because I'm going to tell you, you got a tough sell with me. Yeah, it sounds like you have a harder sell with me than you do with John, actually.
I think this could be a sell, and this one's on Twitch. This really just revolves around you. Why does Mark have a dumb English accent? Golf is Scottish. Is there any chance you could do a Scottish accent?
I'm doing the best I can. Leave me alone, please, and enjoy hobnobbing it with your halves.
I'm not doing the Irish thing today. Unless Rory wins it.
So we're going to come to you at 248-539-9797. Oh, have your $1,000 mint julep in your spoiled little laps. Let's get to Omar in Clinton Township, who is up next. Omar, you're on 97.1. Omar, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
He must be watching golf. He's probably still sleeping.
See, this is the level of excitement that people have when they're watching golf. They're totally MIA. Totally MIA. All right, we keep it going. Doug in Livonia is up next. Hey, Doug, you're on 97.1.
Yeah, I've called in many times. How are you, John? John and I have the same birthday, by the way.
Yeah, how you doing,
Doug? Good, John. Listen to me. I'm 78. I've been playing golf since I was 15. The Masters for me is the World Series, the Super Bowl, the NBA championship all rolled into one. This is the ultimate Masters, all the majors. I can't wait to watch all 4 of them. And because I played it my whole life, and it's really exciting for me.
All right, so
really.
Doug, will you watch all 4 days, like as much as you possibly can?
Oh, absolutely. This is, my wife knows. I've been married for 52 years. She knows to leave me alone in these 4 days because I will watch 90% of the 4 days. I'll watch about 90%.
So what are you watching for this year?
Well, okay, the guy that a lot of golfers just love is Scotty Scheffler. Mm-hmm. And the reason why they love him is because he's a class act.
Oh, come on.
See, and so, yeah, he's a class act, and he is just an incredible golfer. So you look at that, okay, and then do I have people that I root against? Absolutely, I do. I'm against the Live Boys that failed and went to, their league. Yeah, I don't want to see any of them win. So I have rivalries. Absolutely, I do.
I agree with you on that, Doug. I agree with you on the Live Golf, but outside of that, him telling us it's his Super Bowl doesn't make it my Super Bowl.
No, but it can be his. It's okay.
Yeah, but the object of the game here is you guys have a billboard. John's driving by. What are you putting on the billboard to get John to watch, to get me to watch?
So you cringed when he said, when he was talking about Scotty Scheffler.
He's all class. It's just, he's high class, very high class, the highest class there is.
Well, I'll tell you this. Again, I said storylines develop. It's not necessarily the storylines going in. But if he gets his third green jacket on Sunday,
sure.
The conversation on Monday, John, unfortunately, is going to be, and you'll have to participate in this, do you want him to break Tiger's record? Tiger, or at least pass Tiger with majors.
Yeah, but doesn't he have, how many more does he have to go before he gets there? 9?
Along those lines, yeah, I'd have to look it up.
So he's got a whole nother lifetime to get those.
He's still young, for golf especially.
Well, and I what the story for Scotty Scheffler is what he's got, a 10-day-old baby or 2-week-old baby, and he hasn't played in, I don't know, with 3 or 4 weeks. Maybe it's been a month's time. And so I think there is a storyline there. And you mentioned 3 out of the last 5 years. It would be remarkable.
So my feeling on the Masters is try to imagine how little I care. John's is similar. Your task is the following. You're putting a billboard up on the highway. You got to put something on it about the Masters to get us to watch. What's your selling point? What is it? Is it the next Tiger? So I'm curious, which one of you can get us to move more towards actually tuning into this? That's coming your way next here on 97.1.
Hey, if you've been thinking about hair loss, you need to go see Dr. Mark Berkowitz. He has been doing hair restoration for over 30 years, and he intentionally limits how many patients he takes at one time. So when that consultation calendar fills, it closes, and yes, there is a wait list. So I know there's a lot of guys who talk about going overseas, like going to Turkey for their hair restoration, but what they don't think about is that follow-up care, right? Like what happens if something doesn't go perfectly once you're home? This is medical, follow-up matters, accountability matters. Now, Michigan Hair Restoration is local, medically supervised, and the same team is with you before, during, and after. Now, Dr. B has trusted this process enough to have it done himself. He's also performed it on his own son, and that tells you everything. So, if hair loss has been on your mind, this is one of those moments where waiting usually means missing your window. Go to MichiganHairRestoration.com today and request a consultation before you run out of time.
You've heard me talk about Rapid Roofing a number of times before, and this one actually is personal. They've replaced my roof. I trusted them with my home, my largest investment, and the experience from the start to finish was absolutely top-notch. They're fully licensed and insured, manufacturer-backed lifetime warranty on every roof system that they install. They also do siding, windows, install gutters as well. They do it all. You can find them on the phone at 888-360-ROOF. That's ROOF, or on the web at rapidroofing.com.
You know what, Mark Ryan in for Jim. John and Heather here too. All about making friends here in the D. Let's see if that's happening. Who is the wet blanket on the radio this morning? Oh boy, this is not getting off to a good start. This is Mark. If you don't like it, don't watch. Complaining about it makes you sound like more of a DB than I even think you are.
Texters say, hey, they say exactly what they feel.
Now, these were brought to me to read. These were given to me.
Would you prefer I read them?
So I think I would
nice
prefer
ones.
you women.
Yeah.
They're giving me the nice text to read.
All right. Couldn't agree with more that golf is boring, and I don't care. It's a sport for non-athletic people who couldn't run fast or hit hard.
Yes.
100% agree with Tom here, huge Detroit and Michigan sports fan, but all the weekends, this is one of the best weekends in sports. That comes from Cam. The Masters is almost as pretentious as cookies is smarmy, which is a lot, Scott and Carlton. Just you guys talking about the Masters is putting me to sleep on my drive to work. That comes from Ryan.
There's definitely a large group of people that are with you guys. Not the majority, but
I get as excited for the Masters as Heather does for football on Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yep.
I'm with you. Last year they had the Lions playing in July, Thanksgiving, Christmas. If you play on Thanksgiving, you should be exempt from playing on Christmas. Everybody. Now they're going to do the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Their greed knows no bounds. They really don't.
More football is always better.
just real quick on this, I think Masters Sunday is a top 5 sporting event usually, and you're almost guaranteed tension on Sunday. The tension on those final few holes, Amen Corner. How come you don't like Amen Corner, by the way?
Well, the tension is I want to watch something else. Yeah. Can I get an Amen Corner? The tension is I want to watch something else, Tom. That's the tension in my house.
Here, they could put this on the billboard. You asked for everybody to, what's the selling point? Augusta National might be the nicest golf course in the world. Isn't that a selling point?
Fair.
Yeah, it might be. There's a lot of great landscapes in this great world.
My
of
grandfather
ours.
said it's the best thing you can do with clothes on. The Masters. Let's see. Omar in Clinton Township is up next. Omar, you're on 97.1.
Okay, good morning. You guys can hear me this time, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
sir.
got you, Omar. Glad you woke up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm in Gulf Point by the lake, so I kind of dropped the call. But I'm a 40-year caddy at the golf course out here, and I agree, watching golf on TV can be boring. However, when you're actually out on the golf course or if you're actually playing, to me, it's one of the best skillful games out there. You know, and the reason why I say that is a lot of times, a lot of these guys, especially a lot of these members at these golf courses, when they watch the Masters and they are all intrigued and into it, it's because they got something invested into it. Just like if you was like football, for instance, if you're watching, say, Cleveland Browns and Miami Dolphins, that's going to be a boring game to watch. But if you got something invested into it, you're going to be a little bit more intrigued to watch it. So that's the thing with that. But yeah, it's one of the biggest sporting events. But the only reason why I think it's one of the biggest sporting events is because you got a lot of people have something invested into it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you're playing the game and you play all summer long, you take golf trips in the winter, you're going to be invested because you know how challenging it is. If you ever played the game of golf, you know how challenging it is. And then to watch the best in the world do it, like I could get that as a selling point. You're watching the best in the world do it. It it just is. It can
Boring
be
as
like
hell.
watching paint dry.
It's boring as hell. The nature of the sport.
Mark, I got to ask Mark a question. Mark, are you a big video game guy?
I've been known to dabble a time or 30.
Okay, the best game for you to play is an older game. Is a game called Hot Shots Golf.
I love it.
Now,
I got it.
on the
I love it.
PlayStation.
I absolutely love it. Which one though?
Yeah.
Which one?
Either one.
Okay.
All of it to me was good. But once because my wife never understood golf, but she's real good on that golf game.
Okay.
You're the man.
Yep. So yeah, and I tell a lot of people, play the game first. Once you play the game and you see how it goes, then you understand it a little bit more. But I appreciate you guys. I love listening to the show. Thank you.
Thank you, Omar. I appreciate that. Are any of these selling points working on you? Do you feel more likely to watch now than you would have otherwise?
No, but I think Omar brought up a great point. Like, I'm not invested. I'll go golfing with my son. I golf in charity events. But to me, it's more of it's a social experience than it is. I'm no good at it, and nor do I care to be. So I'm just not invested in the game of golf.
I would agree with you. I don't think it translates to a TV product. I don't think it translates as a spectator sport at all. I think you can play it, have fun with your buds. As for right now, let's have fun with Heather with the news.
All right. I'm glad you said the news after that. That could have been a very different.
Why do I feel like there's about to be a new drop in the system? Oh, boy.
Gracious. This news is sponsored by Gardner White. Okay, so there's a Tennessee community that is now calling for the removal of a school board member after he called out the physical appearance of a female student during a public meeting last week. So this was during a live stream meeting. This board member, Keith Irvin, calls a student hot.
Yeah, it's an immediate.
God, you're hot, is what he said.
Immediate grounds for termination.
Oh my gosh. So he has since defended his comments, claiming that he was taken out of context while speaking with the girl. He was basically saying that, like, oh, you're on fire. Your questions are on fire. Listen to this.
Oh.
God, she's hot. No, it's adding that
bless
God
her
before
heart.
too. Yeah.
Questions?
Oh my goodness. So apparently he's faced backlash for inappropriate behavior with students in the past.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, back in 2009, he apparently made some lewd gesture of some sort of sexual nature in front of students and teachers. He also used profanity in front of these students. So he's been in trouble, and it sounds like he's not going to be fired because they did call this emergency board meeting where he basically was just reprimanded. But now the community is hoping he'll just resign.
See, when you hear that, you want to try to say, should I give him the benefit of the doubt? Is anyone actually that innocent?
Is he a good old boy?
Right, good old boy. And and then you hear the other stuff, the previous history, and you know that isn't the case.
Yeah.
How many strikes is this dude getting?
Apparently at least 2.
I don't know. If trust me, if you're a certain age, don't use the slang. Don't try and be cool. Yeah. Hey, good question. Boy, or actually say, you're on fire right now.
Yeah.
While you touch her, you're hot.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was also the arm around her shoulder. Yeah, very awkward. It's a big moment for Detroit's culinary scene, as the city will now be included in the Michelin Guide selection process, which will give restaurants the opportunity to be considered for Michelin stars. So
Detroit's hot.
God, they're hot.
Look at how hot you are. Let me put my hands on you.
So hot. So this is a big deal, right? Because the Michelin Guide is considered the gold standard of dining, awarding stars to the best restaurants on the planet. So it's going to bring also some global attention to cities that make the cut, which now includes Detroit, Cleveland, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, and Pittsburgh. So it's big news.
Okay.
I've got to say, I've probably had 3 meals here that I would say tasted Michelin caliber, like 3 different places.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Michelin caliber meals.
Oh, sure.
And I actually know one is. I know one is a Michelin star chef, but there were 2 others that I'm like, this is otherworldly delicious. The cuisine here Top notch. How many for you? Michelin star worthy.
I don't. You know, I don't. I've never actually like classified anything. I don't know that I've been to a
What's
restaurant
wrong
that
with
would
you,
be
John?
a
Come up to
Michelin.
the golf class, please. Come up to the golf class.
I've had some great meals in Detroit and surrounding areas.
Yes.
Does this mean we're going to see the Michelin Man into these great restaurants in Detroit?
Yeah, will he fit?
How many have you had, Heather? Michelin star caliber meals
numerous,
here. Right.
for sure. Yes. A drunk wrong-way driver was arrested in Troy over the weekend with 2 young kids in the car.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it happened on Saturday night. Police were dispatched to northbound 75 near Big Beaver Road, John, on reports of a wrong-way driver.
You're the only one that didn't respond yesterday.
I know I was busy. Whenever I get a text and
Greg
I'm like
didn't
right
either.
in the middle of something, I see it and I can't respond, and then I forget about responding later. I did see it.
Okay.
Yes,
John,
I definitely
Mark,
saw it.
I was
He sent a text message regarding
the road.
Mark,
Big
have you
Beaver
been to
Road.
Big Beaver Road yet?
I have. I did want to let you know I survived the experience. I also went through Climax. I also survived that.
Out on 94?
I have no
what
idea.
What were you doing out there?
I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what that's about. Stop hurting my virgin ears. But
have you been to the Uranus Fudge Factory in Indiana?
Dude, that is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. We had a plumbing company that said we're number 1 in the number 2 business. How about that? Tremendous.
Anyway, this guy was arrested. He also had a 35-year-old passenger. She was arrested too. 2 kids, 2 and 5 years old. They were going the wrong way on 75. They also found an open beer can inside the center console. He obviously showed signs of intoxication. So he's facing charges of operating while intoxicated with occupants under 16, which includes child endangerment.
Throw everything you can at him.
Yep.
Just losers. All you can say, losers. What else do you got? What else to add to that?
Yeah.
All right, so we're asking you guys to give us your billboard to sell John and I on watching the Masters because, frankly, my dear, we just don't give a damn. Also, coming your way next, LeBron James was way out of line. Or was he? Next here on 97.1.
Hey, when you're injured, you need more than just a great lawyer. You need a great team. That's why only Femininal Law has the accident response team. They don't wait, they act. Crisis counselors help manage the trauma. Medical pros talk to your doctors, and forensic experts preserve the evidence before it disappears. David's team treats you like you matter. It's not just legal help, it is recovery in action. Get David, get paid means you get more. Put the accident response team in your corner. Give them a call at 855-65-CRASH. That's 855-65-CRASH or on the web at getdavidgetpaid.com.
Well, I will say, Mark Ryan in for Jim, Costa and Jansen with Heather here on 97.1. I will say you've moved me from likelihood of watching the Masters. You've moved me from a 1 to a 2, but you still have some ways to go. Let's see if Brad in Macomb can make any headway. Brad, you're on 97.1.
Sure. Hey, good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
Hey, first-time caller.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think a good way to buy in and create some fun is join a Masters pool. Last 5 years, I've had about 20-plus friends join the pool. It creates a way to smack talk and win some money.
I think I'd rather jump in a pool with an anvil.
Why?
Well, tell me what it's like. Tell me what it's about.
It's just a fun time. You create some smack talk in the group chat. You watch it Thursday through Sunday, and you're just always rooting for your guys.
Who's your guy?
Well, I got 6 guys. But my top 3, I got Scotty, JJ Spawn, and Bryson.
But I mean, Brad, how does the pool work though? Like, everybody gets a guy and you just root for, what are the dynamics of the pool?
You got 6 tiers and you pick one player from each group.
Okay.
And then it just scores throughout. If one of your guys missed the cut, you're not in good shape.
Okay, so you said before you get 6 guys, you need all 6 to make the cut, and then it's a scoring system for the pool.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Okay, all right, Brad. I don't know anybody doing a pool. Can I join your pool, John?
More friends. I gotta get more friends, man.
I do. Tell me something I don't know, Brad. Tell me something I don't know. That's the most correct thing that's been said.
Now, they've done golf pools here at the office. I don't think they're doing a Masters one this year, but they have done them for the majors.
All right.
So is it just
John,
like the
John
NCAA
never got in them.
No. I don't know enough about it. I mean, if I were to if somebody were to take Scotty Scheffler or Rory and I was left with anybody else, I'd be like, I don't know who to take.
You'd have to go get like a list of odds. And,
yeah, I'd just take the next guy, which is probably...
That's what Heather does with all her things.
Yeah. Any of your people golfing?
I don't think so. I haven't looked into it, though. I don't know enough.
No Vikings?
There could be.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. LeBron James, he is becoming one of the more polarizing people in sports. And
becoming.
Yeah, well, like Michael Jordan always kind of stayed away from the fray.
Sure.
And LeBron James, it's not that he's this wildly entertaining dude, but he just tends to step in it quite often. This is an instance where he doesn't seem to mind stepping in it. He was playing golf. Who knows what beverages may or may not have been imbibed upon. And LeBron, well, for no reason, just drive by, went in on the city of Memphis. Check this out. Oh, my gosh. I mean, that's...
So he doesn't like Memphis.
Yeah, to say the least, right? Greg was telling us during the break that Memphis pick that year was Detroit's pick. The pick actually went to Detroit. I've got a 4-second clip on the soundboard here of Austin Reeves saying, I'm not going to Detroit. We've all heard that a ton about this city. But for LeBron to say that about another city, and he didn't just say, not my favorite place. He went as far as to say, I'm going to pull an Eli Manning and boycott.
Not show up
to work had Memphis drafted me. Floors me, number one. Absolutely floors me because I've heard good things about Memphis. You been to Memphis, John?
Oh, I've been to Memphis. Love Memphis. Great food scene, music scene. It's I can't remember the name of the one street that they've got there where they got all the jazz bars and everything, but it was a great trip. Loved every second of it while I was there. And it's you can walk around in and have a lot of fun. I thought it was great.
So what's his deal?
I have no idea. I'm not going to try and dive into the mind of LeBron James. It's just It's not something I care to do. But we all have that city.
Do you know what you would see if you were in there? Michael Jordan's better than me. Michael Jordan's better than
me. Living rent free.
Yeah.
What's the city where you would say what's your Memphis?
That's exactly it. What is your Memphis? What is Heather's Memphis? What is my Memphis? The city that just sucks. It sucks. And we ask you guys that same question. You know, LeBron disses Memphis. We're not asking you to diss Memphis, but there is a city that other people like that you don't. What is it and why? 248-539-9797 is where you guys can get to us on the show. Mine is Milwaukee.
Oh, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Milwaukee. Say that again?
Milwaukee.
Okay, there you go.
You don't know the reference?
I have no idea.
Oh.
No, I don't know the reference either, except you saying it here.
Well, that's Wayne's World, right? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. Great. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Uh-huh.
Well, Milwaukee blows. Okay? All right? I want to tell you why. Look, you hear awful things about this city, and then you hear kind of the same things over and over again. I have friends say to me that don't live here, "Hey, Mark, how you doing you dodging all the bullets whizzing by your heads and stuff like that?" The things they've said about Detroit have been anything but true. I went to Milwaukee, and I'm like, this place is like what people say Detroit is. It fits the description that how people describe Detroit, and Detroit is nothing like that. Huh. Milwaukee is nothing but haze, power lines, and weeds. Haze, it's hazy, power lines, and weeds.
Not weed. That's not creating the haze. It's
that
just
would be
weeds.
an improvement upon what it actually is. Yeah, it absolutely would.
I've never been. Ruby had a basketball tournament there. My dad took her, and they came back and were raving about the city.
Oh, no way. I don't know why. So here's the thing. My wife had job training in Madison, and you've never thought you've been from heaven to hell within an hour in your life.
Yeah.
Madison was it was like Napa Valley. I felt like I was in Napa Valley, California. It was gorgeous. It was hilly. There were things to do. There were culture and music and outdoors and bike trails. And I go to Milwaukee and I get weeds and slums and haze and power lines. And I got to tell you, I'm like, I went through it and I'm like, I have no idea how Milwaukee has escaped the rap that people attach to Detroit in an unfounded way. I have no idea. But it has. And I don't know what LeBron's talking about with Memphis, but we ask you guys at 248-539-9797. John.
I'm trying to narrow it down to one. But
there's that many.
Oh, yeah. I'll give you the 3 C's. It's Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Columbus.
I can't imagine a Michigan guy doesn't want to go. And so when you're in Ohio, you just say Ohio?
Oh, well, I don't go unless I'm forced to go for work or for any type of. Ellie may have a softball tournament. Ruby had basketball down there. Like, that is the only way I will enter that state. I'll drive around it. When I go to Purdue, I drive around it. I go to Indianapolis, I drive around it. I'm not going to go through the state of Ohio unless I am absolutely forced. If I'm paid to go there or I'm forced by some reason to go there. And so, yeah, it's Cleveland. And it's the cities like Cincinnati. It's just not a great city to be in. And, it's right there by the river. There's so much potential. As soon as you cross the border into Kentucky, you're like, wow, this is wonderful. But when you're there, it's nothing. And a lot of it is, it's the people. I don't even like the people. They make it even worse.
Well, maybe it's because they don't like you.
I have no problem with that. That's fine. If I'm not welcome, I'm not going.
All right. 248-539-9797. What is your Memphis? You heard LeBron absolutely put the city of Memphis on blast. I think it's completely and totally unfair. What is the Memphis to you? That city that people love and you can't get behind it for any way, shape, or form. Plus, we've got Heather's Memphis coming your way next here on 97.1.
I've been using Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service for a little over 5 years now, and 2 different homes. Every time that they show up, they just provide me a wonderful lawn, and it's weed free, it's thick, it's green, and part of it has to do with they showed up just about a week ago, and they put that first application down. For greener grass and fewer weeds, early treatment is the key. Any of those problems that I just mentioned, crabgrass, dandelions, thinning grass, it's easier to prevent the problem than it is to fix it. Get green, stay green, and save some green when you prepay. Call by the end of the month for the early bird discount. And for a limited time right now, purchase a full lawn program. You're going to get free grub control, but you got to mention my name along with 97.1. They've been serving Southeast Michigan since 1990, and they're going to give you a 100% satisfaction guarantee. You can get them on the phone at 888-GET-GREEN. That's 888-GET-GREEN, or on the web at naturalwaylawn.com.
That was a very Anchorman moment with the city name, which means hilarious. Yeah, Milwaukee is not in my future. Okay? It's not at all in my future. I didn't like it at all. I was going through Milwaukee, driving through it, and I was ticked off because I'm like, no. Detroit is none of what people say about it. This city is all of those things.
So you were just driving through. You didn't actually stop and...
I stopped because I couldn't believe how crappy it was. I'm like, there's got to be some redeeming quality here. There was no redeeming quality. I stopped to get a custard. I was around a bunch of freaks, and I'm just like, the freaks are out at night. I'm just like, what is going on over here? And it was like, it was the most vile city that I think I've ever been in. And Heather's like looking at me shocked at the words I'm using. Heather, I'm using nice words for how I felt about it.
I've never been there, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you go an hour to Madison, and it's just like God's country. It's so beautiful. So we've got people chiming in on this. LeBron James has gone off on the city of Memphis. Doesn't want to be there. Doesn't want to play there. The only way he was ever going to go there is if they won the lottery, and then he might not go there anyway. And so we're asking you guys at 248-539-9797. What is your Memphis? What is the city that some people love that you just can't stand? Heather.
Well, I have two. I mean, easily I could say like you did with Cleveland, and I could think of maybe some place that is actually, well, I guess this place could be filled with freaks, as you have said. Vegas, for me, I know people love Vegas.
I hate it.
I hate Vegas. I hate the lights, the sound, the noise. It's fake. It's overstimulating. Not my scene.
And you've been.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been, and I hated it.
I don't love it.
You're like, I had a guy drop dead of a heart attack at the MGM Grand. I was doing a boxing radio row show out there, and a guy dropped dead of a heart attack right behind me. And I'm literally shaken by that the whole time I'm there. They're like, third time this week. That's Vegas. Like, people are on their last legs. There is no middle class. It's all about the haves and the have-nots and spending a bunch of money to go to these fake shows.
Yes. So I know a lot of people love going to Vegas. And I know there's a lot like outside of like the Strip, right? But when you go right there to it's not my scene. It's not what I like. I wouldn't want to go all the time.
I experienced Vegas as just a straight tourist for the first time last summer.
Right.
My wife grew up in Southern California. Going to Vegas is like us going up north. And so she showed me kind of the insider's view and the path that you would take in Vegas. And I had a good time. I'm not a big fan of being locked inside and not knowing what time of day it is. And there are things that I don't like about Vegas, but I had a good time when I was there.
And I had a good time when I was there.
4 different resorts without ever going outside. And we just like, I got lost.
But is that the point of vacation to go to not go outside?
Well, it's not my point of Vegas or of a vacation, but I didn't mind being there for a very small amount of time and experiencing it with my wife and her family.
And I got to tell you, I think the fact that they're like the new it city to get all the sports teams is a bunch of BS. There's no local community there. None. They're putting the teams there because it's the gambling hub. They want to strengthen the gambling hub. And then 90% of the people at those games are going to be passing through the city.
Well, yeah. I mean, Raiders fans are all driving. Like I said, it's a trip up north, so they're all coming from Oakland or LA or somewhere in Southern California as transplant Raiders fans.
That's exactly right. So LeBron James bag in Memphis. Which city is your Memphis? Heather says Vegas. John says the 3 C's. If you had to live in one of the 3 C's, Cleveland, Columbus, or Cincinnati, if you had to, what would it be?
Well, it would probably be Cleveland just because of its proximity to Lake Erie. It's great fishing. And I've fished the borders there, having left from the state of Michigan.
You cinched it. I'm getting you a Believeland shirt. I'm getting it for you. From me to you, Believeland.
See, John, I'd actually side with you with Cleveland. We had a great experience when we went, to that Tiger game a few years ago.
Yeah.
But Cincy for climate, there's a humongous climate difference between Cincinnati and Cleveland.
Oh, there is.
Oh,
Cincinnati's not half bad.
You know what mine is New York City. I can't stand it. I've only been for a day the 2 times I've ever been there, and that was plenty.
I went to Mardi Gras once. I don't need to go back.
New Orleans is a lot of fun.
It's fun. I need to be able to use the restroom when I have to go and I can't move there.
Well, you just go on the street there.
And then you get arrested.
Sure, but it's one of those cities you could visit, like Vegas for me. I'll go and visit, I'll enjoy it, but then I'll leave after 2 days. New Orleans, kind of the same thing.
DJ in Detroit.
DJ.
Listen, are you there, DJ?
Hello?
You're on the air, DJ.
Mark,
go ahead.
Dog. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. Good to talk to you.
Heather, how y'all doing?
Hey.
Yeah, always a pleasure, my dog. So Heather hit it on the head. I absolutely hate Vegas. It's in the middle of the desert. It's in the middle of nowhere. It sucks. And New York. Whoever said New York is dead on. Like, it's trashy. It's dirty. I don't understand why everybody want to run to play there, the Mecca, blah, blah, blah. I don't get it. I hate it. I ain't never got to go back.
Mecca of what? Not sports.
What they say is the Mecca of basketball.
Yeah.
And, all the athletes in every pro sport want to go there. I guess, well, I ain't no guess. I know because of the marketing potential of making money, but it's just a dump, man. And I'm going to tell you something, Mark. So what I've found as I'm getting older, man, even though Detroit is not a small city, I kind of got a little small town feel. Like, I don't like the LAs and New Yorks, man. Like, when I go to them places to travel for work or whatever, sporting events, I'm ready to come back home. There's too many people. It's too much. I don't like it. I don't like it.
It makes perfect sense, DJ. Makes perfect sense. And I understand that wholeheartedly. Great to hear from you, my man.
Oh, always, my dog. Y'all have a good rest of the show, man.
All right, DJ. He's got a little trophy by his name because he's a great caller. Every single time delivers a great call. Texter says, Baltimore. I've lived in West Philadelphia, Upper Manhattan, the south side of Chicago. I've never been more sure I was going to get stabbed than walking around downtown Baltimore. Pulled over for bathroom break in Cincy on a road trip to Florida, and the whole city smelled of weed, was dirty, and did not look safe. Ann Arbor is my Memphis, John. Obnoxious, pompous. No, John, no.
Oh, it can't be.
People, and don't get me started on Michigan fans, the worst, so says John in Livonia. Brendan Shabath.
Yes.
Your Memphis. LeBron hates Memphis. We got 20 seconds. What's your Memphis?
It's interesting. I don't want to be offensive as you're filling in for Jim here. My Memphis is the whole state of Florida. I can't stand Florida.
Oh, this is very offensive.
I've been there too many times. I was there for work a couple years ago, each of the last 2 summers. The bugs, the temperature, the gators, at 7 a.m. and you're sweatier than you've ever been in your life. I can't. I hate it.
It's the weather mostly, but Florida, don't listen. Please don't let him bag on you like that. All right, coming your way next. The Tigers are scuffling, but we'll have some fun with that. That's next here on 97.1.
Brought to you by Mastercraft Heating and Cooling. The Pistons beat the Bucks last night 137-111 as Cade Cunningham and Isaiah Stewart both returned for the first time in over 3 weeks. After the game, Cunningham was asked about the 65-game rule and his thoughts on its effectiveness. If Cunningham plays the Detroit's final 2 games this season, he'll finish with 64 games played this year. That's, of course, one shy of the required 65 to qualify for NBA, MVP, and All-NBA, both of which he was strongly in contention for. Tigers fell to the Twins last night 8-6 for their 4th straight loss and 8th in the last 10 games. Game 4 of the series today at 1:40. The Red Wings also have another must-win game tonight as they host the Philadelphia Flyers at 7 o'clock at LCA. And Mark Ryan's favorite golf tournament is underway as the first few groups are out at Augusta National. Scotty Scheffler's the favorite at plus 600 odds to win the Masters this year. At the Crowell Health Sports Desk, I'm Brendan Shabath. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
$97.1 rolling on until 10 a.m. If you've seen the Diana Rossini, Mike Vrabel stuff.
Yeah.
Looks bad. Not looking good. And we just had the what was the concert a year ago? The
Coldplay.
The Coldplay concert.
Yeah.
We just had that, which was, had they done nothing, they would have been fine.
Yeah. No, if they didn't react.
No reaction, they would have been absolutely fine. But they reacted like Will Smith did at the Oscars with that level of ferocity, and you kind of give it away at what the problem is.
Right.
Now, Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel didn't have any. I know my wife. Like, there would be no chance in Hades.
Oh, no.
There is no explanation.
No.
She would not accept any explanation for, and there's no kissing on camera. There's no anything on camera. But like, who the hell are you spending all that time with? You're holding hands?
But they're not just like a handshake. It's like fingers
interlocking. Fingers, yeah.
The embrace, the hug.
Yeah. My wife said there wouldn't even be a conversation. Like I'm not giving you a chance to explain yourself.
Your bags would be packed.
Oh yeah.
And outside waiting for you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, another oh boy is the Detroit Tigers, who fell again last night. It's their second 4-game losing streak of the season. The good news is that each of the last 5 World Series champions had 4-game losing streaks. 4 of the 5 of them had multiple 4-game losing streaks. But to have 2 this early on in April without finding their way to a path to victory, with the roster they have, I think has got to be cause for concern. Now, we all have panic meters, right? 1 to 10. If 5 is I am moderately concerned, I might be a 4 right now. I wouldn't say moderately concerned is accurate, but I'm less than pleased with their start out of the gate.
My brain tells me to only be a 2 or a 3. My heart and my fandom would be more a 6 or a 7. And it's the carryover, and I don't believe in momentum and all those things, good or bad, the carryover from one year to another. But having lived through what the Tigers did at the end of the season, and the issue being the bats, it's started out the very same this year. The main issue is the bats. Now, you had a couple of really good performances by Skubal, and then a kind of a dud, a non-Skubal-like performance where he gives up 4 earned runs. We don't know as much about Framber Valdez because we just haven't we don't have that firsthand experience. But it hasn't been a great return on what they've expended for him to this point. And so and Tom brought this up earlier. We always talk about the 40-game mark. Like, hey, give it 40 games to see what this team is going to be. 40, 50 right in there. You get a true sentiment of what this team is, a feeling of what this team will be. And I'm not confident that Riley Green is going to fix the strikeouts. Now, maybe he doesn't have 200 again or 201, whatever it was last year, but still 180? Like, that's still way too many strikeouts. And he's not having the power to start the season that he had last year with the 38 home runs. Spencer Torkelson, it seems like it's an every other year sort of deal. So if we're looking ahead to 27, if we have baseball in 27, Spencer Torkelson could be a really good hitter next year.
Right, exactly.
But this year, it doesn't seem like it's there.
Torkelson is anchorman in odd years, and he's anchorman too in even years. And that's the problem. So you and I thought we would have a little fun with this, and let's see how many you got. And then we can deduce whether this is still, in fact, a title team. What are the problems with the Tigers? John?
I'll start off.
I defer to you.
Kerry Carpenter. He, started off the season in the leadoff role and couldn't find a way to put bat on ball. Now, he has been able to put bat on ball. He's actually got 2 home runs, but he has 16 strikeouts to go along with those 2 home runs. And he's not a guy that's just going to be an everyday guy. Kerry Carpenter has to be more productive. He's got to be more reliable. And right now, he's just not. I think he is one of the major issues that's going on with the Tigers. Lack of power, lack of production.
Yeah, I'm going to go the run production. You look at the teams that have made the World Series the last 5 years. Those teams averaged being number 5, top 5 in offense, top 5 in run production. The Tigers were 11th last year. They add McGonigal, they're going downhill. It seems like whatever run total the other team has, the Tigers have fewer than that. They have 1, you have 0. They have 8, you have 6. Always fewer than the other team. And, this was the frustration with many fans in the offseason. It was like, how can you watch that in September last year and then not add more? Then again, McGonigal could be the bat that they've been looking for, right?
Could be. I'll give you another one, and it's ERA. It's the pitching staff. Right now, they are 22 out of 30 teams. And we thought with a pitching staff that is valued at more than $100 million in just this base